All right, welcome to the Sae Bae cast number 162 with Prison Joe for his third appearance. Seth, how we doing today?
Three times.
Yeah,
Three times.
it's been literally 2 years since you last were on, I believe, right? Is that 2 years?
It's
Or
been
no,
a
no.
year.
It's
It's
been a
been a
year since you
year.
were last on. It's been 2 years since your first appearance. That's right.
Correct.
'Cause you were on with
It's
Casey.
crazy. It's crazy how much has changed in just that year.
Yeah, you're kind of like an official content creator. Like you're actually like well known, I feel like, and your YouTube's been popping the fuck off. It's really cool to see.
I've been at it. Yeah, I know that when I talked to you last year, that was when I moved away from working full time because at first I started streaming part time, working full time, and then last year I made the move to I still work part time, but content creation is a full time pursuit. And I did. It was. I felt like I was ready to just go, but there's a lot more that goes into it than I think people think. It's there was just, I just had so much time. All of a sudden, I had all this time, all these hours of time, and I didn't know what to do with it. I thought I would. I tried to branch out. I think the first thing I tried was like, I tried to do variety vlogging, and like it was going well. Like I was getting some traction with it, but I don't think I quickly realized that if I was going to pursue that I was going to have to really just like send it, like I was going to have to make that the priority. And I was going to have to move away from RuneScape because I wasn't doing it enough to like that consistency. Because like content creation, I know this in my time doing it, consistency is everything. Like it's the key component to getting you where you want to be. I think like there's a lot of other factors that like will determine whether you like really blow up, but if you're consistent with content creation, like you'll get traction eventually. Like if your idea is even if it's just an okay idea, if you keep at it,
Yep.
it will grow. And like I know I have plenty of friends and plenty of people who are products of that. But I quickly realized that yeah, like that wasn't gonna be my lane. And I kind of came back around to RuneScape, and I think kind of YouTube is really. I'm addicted to YouTube, I think.
Dude, it is the thing is not like it's sort of like a side project where I feel like Twitch is for a lot of people, they start out and like me and you, we started off on Twitch. Like we didn't have any other thing. We're just like, let's just send some fucking streams. And it's all fun. And you obviously were already, doing your own thing, like your own career path. And so that's a little bit different than me. But for me, it was like Twitch, going into Twitch, like I had no expectations. So it was all fun, 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 fun. And then all of a sudden I started receiving paychecks and I'm like, oh, like this is amazing. And then that's when the stress starts coming. And then that's when things start not becoming quite as fun because now it's like there's money involved and it's like, God damn it, like I'm stressing out. But YouTube was like the detached like side project where it was just pure fun and literally no expectation. And so that's like really where the addiction was. Like I can literally just post on here. I don't have to touch it. I don't have to look at it again. It's just done. And it's just, I'm seeing passive growth. Like it's the most addicting thing ever. And you
Yes,
can take it wherever you want. Like you can literally you can make whatever you want. With Twitch, it seems like there's this kind of like mold you need to fit into sort of, and you have this community and you kind of need to know the culture and all this stuff. With YouTube, just fucking send whatever you want.
100%. And when I got into YouTube, I really it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do. But going back, you're saying like starting in Twitch, like you're talking about the money aspect of it being stressful and hounding on you. That was like the main reason because I knew when I was working full time and doing Twitch part time, like I was still making like good money off Twitch, which was crazy because it helped me get to where I wanted to be. Because like my goal with my job is I was like, if I can get returns on these investments I have and I can make like work a part-time thing, like I can pursue this. Cause I didn't want that stress you talk about, like worrying about money, like kind of, especially as a Twitch streamer, because it becomes tough. Cause then it gets to a point where you might be begging, but you're essentially like begging people for money, you
Yeah.
don't want, like, I don't want to think about money when I'm streaming. Cause like, I really enjoy streaming. I love interacting with people. Like people know like my community it's about interaction, it's about having a good time. Like yes, sometimes I do things in the game that require like high level of PVM, whatever it may be. But most of the time, like it's just a fun place to hang out. Like that's the community I want to foster. That's what I want. and getting like you said, that point of not having any stress, like once I got to that point, I knew that's why I knew it was time to send it. Like I knew it was time to pursue it full time. I knew that I had part-time work that would basically cover the essential stuff. Like I knew that I wasn't going to be worried about not being able to pay the bills or et cetera, et cetera. And that's really when I got to that point, that's when I was most comfortable just to rip it. I think I talked about it on the last podcast. I think the last time I was on with Tasty, we talked about that a little bit. But if you would have told me, man, like I think I started streaming almost 5 years ago now. And if you'd have told me where I'm at now, like it's been crazy. Like YouTube, now me, T Papa, Tasty, we fully own and operate the behemoth Old School RuneScape channel. That's huge.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely one that if you would have told me that, I'm like, okay, that's if you would have just told me where I'm at,
you bought out Behemoth. Like, oh, what's Behemoth 5 years ago? You're like, what the hell is even that?
That was quite a deal. Behemoth essentially reached out to us, and then basically, yeah, we just kind of negotiated because I believe there were some other people that were interested in taking over Behemoth as well. And I guess really what it came down to was with that, because I don't think you haven't had Tasty or Behemoth on here to talk about that, have you?
Not yet. I'm literally in discussion. Like we've been talking for like 2 months, and they're like, "Yeah, like we're definitely going to come on the Sae Bae cast, talk about all this stuff." It's like, dude, like I think they're involved with lawyers. You guys are all involved in that. I don't know what's happening, but eventually they'll come on and talk about it.
Yeah. It's all ironed out, and I won't. It's a deep hole because obviously like that like acquiring that, all the things that went into it, like it's a lot because like Behemoth is a huge entity. Like and people. I guess people do understand, but don't understand. Like it's a lot. It really is a lot. Just because it's every single day. There's a video uploaded every single day, and although it might not take an insane amount of work to get that video out that day, it's the fact that it's every single day, 365 days a year. That is the standard. That's what we're trying to meet, and like that can become a lot. Which is good. While we have a team, like we basically have a team, you know, and everybody kind of does their role. But I won't get too far into that because I know that that's probably something when they do come on they want to discuss. But at the end of the day, really the acquisition happened is because Behemoth felt confident in us taking it over, which makes sense. And like Tasty is a perfect front guy for it, in my opinion. Like he's great at hosting. Like he's got the voice. It's funny too. Like I talk to people about like if you watch the YouTube recordings, like just the raw, because like. He reviews the clips and does like a raw recording. If you watch it, it's funny watching him just like he's like smoking his vape, just like out of it, and he like goes into YouTube mode. You can see it, like you can physically see him go into YouTube mode and then go out of it, and then go back into it, and then go out of it. It's actually really interesting to watch. Because I'm scared to do that. I like have to like cut my own stuff up, but he just rips it raw, and he's just so good at it. Like he's just like he snaps in and out. It's like a different, not a different person, but just a complete different vibe.
That is so funny. Do you notice that in yourself, by the way? Because now you have a YouTube. Like, do you think you have a YouTube voice and a Twitch voice, and then a normal voice, or like how do you see yourself in that regard?
I think Twitch voice and YouTube voice are kind of the same for the most part. I think YouTube, I like focus more on like pronouncing words and etc. better. Like I do my best, Like I'm not the greatest well-spoken person ever, but I really do try my best to. I guess really like flow through the words and be pertinent. There's definitely a difference, 100%. Yeah. But YouTube, like I feel like has like propelled me in content creation. I wish I would have started a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because you made that, like that comment is stuck with me. I forgot what Sae Bae cast was I was listening to, but you're like, yeah, YouTube is like it's like a little plant. You just put some water on it and slowly grows. It's so true. Because like it just took me a while because I started YouTube as soon as I became like when I shifted towards full-time content creation. I started on YouTube. I started making vlogs. I was doing variety stuff. Like it was getting decent views, but I quickly realized like this stuff is getting views and people like it, but it's never going to get to the point to where it's like providing me substantial growth unless I like fully send it and just completely like change my brand and like move away from RuneScape. Because RuneScape's what got me to the dance. Like I'm well aware of that. Like RuneScape is the game that got me, I love RuneScape. I love RuneScape right now more than ever, actually, which is funny. But like even at that point, I knew I loved RuneScape, and I definitely didn't want to just give it up and go to something else. Like I didn't dislike the game that enough. So I sat down, and I did this thing on my Twitch channel live called ToB Tuesday, which essentially the idea is I like to collaborate. Like I'm like that's the whole reason I love Twitch. That's why I love content creation. I love interacting with people, and I love collaborating with people and creating stuff. And so I would reach out to streamers and be like, "Hey, you want to do ToB Tuesday? Like, what is that?" I was like, "Well, we're just going to do ToBs and a voice call together and be live, and and just kind of improv it and see where it goes." Like some of them went really well, some of them were just kind of, but I was sitting there like that was the hardest thing for me, man. Was just thinking. I guess it's scary. Like YouTube's kind of scary. Like thinking the whole thought of like you think of like editing and like I gotta post the video and like, and especially if you hold yourself to like probably a higher standard than you should. It's like scary. Like I was just like scared to like post something, especially RuneScape related. Like, and I felt like I didn't have enough ideas, or I felt like I just didn't have a good idea like RuneScape wise that people would watch. But I kind of like started thinking about ToB Tuesday, and I was like, oh, I could work this around. And there's shows like there's a show called Sunday Conversation, which I'm constantly like compared to, or people, of course you get the comments of like, you're just ripping off his formula. It's just like, there's that too, like, like, but that show, the Eric Andre show, skit artists like Drewski, Between Two Ferns, like there's a lot of different comedic interview shows. And like, I was just like thinking about those and like taking elements of all those shows and kind of making my own show, like putting my own spin on it essentially. Yep. Because like people keep giving me the Sunday Conversation like comparison, but that's just the newest and biggest show that does that format. Because there's many interview shows before that like that use the comedic aspect, and like I've just tried to draw the things I think are best from all those shows and do my best to funnel them into what is definitely now ToB Tuesday. Because when it started, I kind of had an idea, but I felt like I had to like kind of find, I guess, my character. Because like in a way, I'm playing a character on the show, but it's generally me. But I'm also like I'm feeding into this like interviewer, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
If you don't know what ToB Tuesday is, it is basically it is a comedic interview where I do a couple ToBs with a guest, a content creator in the RuneScape section, and I ask them a variety of questions. And I love ToB Tuesday because they're all different. Like the theme is different because like RuneScape content creators are all so different. We have so many different types of people, which is also really nice. Like I have a wide variety. You've also came on as well.
Yep.
It's and of course like it was easy to theme you. Like it was easy.
Oh, it was so fun
too. The philosophical, like drawn out, like slow pace. Like I already knew like what the theme was gonna be. And then like for an example, like Defy J, like he's came on, super fast pace, really fast pace, like hard hitting. It's the pace is jacked up. But yeah, it just took me a while. But as soon as I thought about ToB Tuesday and I got a video out, I got the feedback, I saw it was going well. Then I knew it was like it was like all these different ideas started coming to me. I don't know what happened. It was just did you have that experience when you started YouTube?
I mean, definitely not on the same like threshold as you, I would say. I actually want to ask you something about that sort of like thing. Like, so you've done how many episodes of ToB Tuesday now on YouTube?
Today, episode 24 is about to be live in about 1 hour.
Okay. So like how much prep are you putting into this? Because I was like genuinely impressed with just how good of a flow you did or had for our episode. And I've noticed that like watching other episodes, it's like it feels like you have something actually prepared. Like you have this narrative already kind of going and then you pace it pretty well. Like how much prep is involved in that?
So when I'm looking at ToB Tuesday, I write an entire script of questions, and there's points in the script where I will literally put like with the action, abbreviate with action, like improv. Like I have points where I'm gonna ask a question and then I'm going to like there's a space to like improv and like work off of that. Because some of the best moments in ToB Tuesday are completely improv. I didn't script it. Like none of it. Like it's just what comes to me in the moment. Because I don't know. Like I'm good. I know I'm good with improv. I know I'm good with being quick and like just whatever my brain. I don't know why it works the way it does. But like getting something out there. And
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
take pride in that. And like it makes me when I have like a good moment that's fully improv. I also feel that's why I love YouTube. I feel zero stress because of the power of editing. And half of ToB Tuesday is editing. Shout out to Saint Tits. We edit them together. It is the editing process is like I can't just give that product to somebody and be like, hey, this is what I want. It's a very like feedback based, like in depth, like we're like sharing ideas as we edit the video. A lot goes into editing because like if I just try to pay an editor and just throw that to them like, hey, this is what I want, it's just not going to be the product that I want. Like, and that's why like I cherish like having Saint Tits, who is the person who helps me edit ToB Tuesday, because without him, it's not going to be the same product. It wouldn't even be close. But as far as like preparation goes, there's the script, and then I go out and I usually I find people who are close to XYZ content creator. I reach out to them and ask them questions about them. Like I try to get the dirt. I try to get anything I can to throw them off too, to throw people off. I've definitely thrown some people off. They're like, whoa, how the fuck? Why is he asking me that? Like, and that's just being like having if you're on like the pulse of the community, you know what chatters, like the easiest way to find if it's a streamer, right? Like a Twitch streamer, the easiest way to find out things about them is, hey, hit up their mod. And their mod is going to be super excited to tell you all the deeds, all the dirt, anything that'll like agitate them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, yeah.
Have you ever had like really, really awkward moments? Because like I feel like you are the best host to do something like this. Because seriously, like I'm seriously watching some of your episodes, and I'm about to have to turn it off because I'm like, this is so uncomfortable. Like this is so uncomfortable. Like I cannot believe he asked that, or I cannot believe he's like still picking at this one thing. Like Jesus Christ. So like, have you ever felt this like super uncomfortableness, or do you just accept that like this
I thrive in it, dude. I
thrive in it.
I love it. I love that moment of awkwardness. I love it. Like I literally thrive in it. I look forward to it, especially with guests who kind of supersede me as a content creator.
Yeah.
Putting them in that space makes me just. I love it. Like I have like the dream guest where like, say I have like it's like I would love to obviously like. It's Will's a good example. Like I would love to have him on. Like I would like, man, like, and of course, like I have a wealth of people who have like deep knowledge about him. So like it would be an insane episode because I would have endless content to script.
It seems like people like Will and people that don't take themselves seriously at all will also just enjoy that. But have you had a guest that like you could tell was getting kind of annoyed and a little bit like bothered by the way you were conducting the interview?
I think there's been so here's the thing is like most people, especially now when they come on, I let them know like I'm gonna ask, like that's kind of the pretext I give people is like I'm gonna ask you a lot of questions. Some of them are ridiculous. Answer them how you want to answer them, and also just be in mind that I am definitely leaning into a character here, and also that I'm like if I'm not talking, I'm probably just because I'm pacing the video because we do 2 theater blood runs. That's like the standard is 2 theater blood runs. But honestly, not telling people that has also paid off for me because like people who I'm close with, I just might not tell them. Like Nine Rain, for example, I had Nine Rain on.
Yep.
He had no fucking clue what he was getting himself into. It was very apparent if you watched it. He had no idea like what he was walking into. And it was funny because I asked him, I was like, "Oh, did you watch the episode?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm excited." I was like, "He's fucking lying." Like, he didn't fucking watch an episode because the way he reacted was just like he was just like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, from the start, he just was completely thrown up, and it made that episode one of my best episodes for sure. Just because he's just so thrown off the entire time, and it takes a while. I definitely think I remember the West Ham episode. He was definitely getting annoyed with me. He was because towards the end he was just flaming me essentially. Like I had to cut out at least like 2 minutes of him just being like mean to me, essentially.
Yeah.
But that's one that I can think about. What kind of RuneScape content can I make on YouTube that I'm not gonna hate myself for making? It's like I'm not making a one chunk Iron Man. Like I would rather jump off a fucking bridge. Like I'm not doing that. So it's like I'm trying to think of like what is it like what's something new that's not being done. And I was like, okay, well no one's doing this for sure. Like I worked it around, thought about it, talked with Saint Tits who I mentioned helps me edit. And yeah, we kind of just worked it out, and now it's like it's a smooth machine, and it feels really good. And it's like I said, as soon as I started kind of getting in the ToB Tuesday, I remember I made my first like it was kind of like a progressional video. I had accidentally wiped some of my gear at ToB because I'm an idiot. So I did like a little, it was like a little rebuild episode of me just doing a bunch of necks, and it did really well. And people like received it really well. And I was like, oh, okay, I can make other RuneScape videos too, and people will like them.
Mm-hmm.
So and then I just started like having different ideas float to me. I have a few different skit based things I'm working on. They're like kind of like IRL. I'm trying to create a video that is essentially like it's just an example. I'm trying to create a video which is the week in the life of like a casual RuneScape player, someone who plays the game like 2 hours a night. That's one that I think can be really good because there's just so many like heavy stereotypes for people who are like very casual and who are like active on Reddit. That's definitely like stuff like that I think will do really well. And it's unique because there's not really many people doing stuff like that. The only person I've seen do stuff like that, and like he's somebody who's helped me a ton in content creation, is one of my best friends, is Tasty Live. Huge shout out to him. Like I mean, as far as propelling me to like success and like having feedback, he is definitely one of like the top people. You know, that's my boy. Everybody knows. Like he's great. And like he's done a few skits. I wish he would do more too. But like he did like the like I'm sure you've seen it, like the ultra efficient, like pretty much the HLC player
amazing.
Day in the life.
Amazing
Hilarious.
video. Yeah.
Incredible video. And just like me and him doing the fire cave thing at Best Buy. Like, I think there's a huge potential for crossover there. And like, I have a few like things in mind that I'm kind of planning them out. Cause like for videos like that, you really got to put a lot of time and effort into like scripting it out. And, you know, kind of like, basically you have to have a full script. I mean, you have to, for the skit to be like, well, and then you got to think about how you're going to film it, the different, cause you have the IRL aspect. So it's a lot that goes into it, but I think if I can do it right, it can really do some numbers and be successful. But I am blown away by the support for ToB Tuesday. Like I had no idea what to expect, but I mean, yeah, some of the episodes for the size of my YouTube channel have done amazing. So like, I'm extremely happy with it. And, you know, I'm going to continue to badger content creators that are way above my size to come on. You know, I recently had, who did I recently have? I had recently had Skill Specs on. It's a good example. That episode's not out yet, but we recorded it. I stalked him. I stalked him to get him on, to come on the ToB Tuesday. He was just ignoring DMs. And I just came to do a stream one day. And I was like, hey, man, if you don't respond to my DMs, I'm going to jump off the Ardone rooftops. And he was like, oh, Joe, I'm the worst. I'm the worst. And then we got it done. So, you know, that's sometimes you got to be persistent, to get the big boys.
That's exactly how my interaction with him went when I was trying to get him on the cast. Just like repeatedly just denying me. And then I think I went into his chat and he realized like it just gets so awkward when you ignore DMs. Like I've been on the opposite end as well, where I'm ignoring DMs and then I see somebody, I'm like, oh fuck. Like it's just, we all know like how that is, you know, when you're just like, you've seen the DM, you don't really know how to reply, or you don't really want to reply. And then you see each other in public or in like, you know, some Twitch chat or something. You're just like, oh my God, like this is so awkward.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable.
Well, in regard to DMs, Jagex has made a huge mistake by adding me to the content creator Discord.
Oh God!
Now I have the DMs of every content creator, and you best believe I'm going to use that resource.
Good.
There's a lot of people in there who I'm about to probably badger and ask if they want to come on. But yeah, I'm surprised. Like, I mean, I asked, like, for example, Mutz. Like, I asked Mutz, and he was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "You sure you want to do that on your hardcore?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm down." I'm like, "Okay, all right, man, let's do it." Like,
bro, can we just talk about the T Papa faked hardcore death? That was such pristine acting, dude. I am not kidding. I actually thought he died. It felt so real. Yeah, it was so well done. It was exactly how I would imagine both of you acting too. Like genuinely.
I think we're just on that. We're on that wavelength though.
Yeah,
like,
that was amazing.
People who've helped propel me in content creation, like T Papa, Tasty, like a lot of, like there's a few people who are in based who've definitely like those are my guys. Those are people who I have like genuine loyalty towards and will do anything for.
Yeah.
And he's definitely one of them. But yeah, I feel like we're just on that. I didn't know how it was going to come across, but yeah, a lot of people think he actually died. Like I thought it was going to be pretty obvious, like he didn't. It was a joke, but like there's a lot of people who thought he actually died.
It was very well done. I mean, seriously, I believed it for like 2 full days. until T Papa literally raided me basically and was like, dude, I didn't die. And I'm like, what? Like, I was so confused. It was crazy.
That's the funny thing about him is, I believe that's the second time he's faked his hardcore's death. That's become kind of a little thing because I saw Defy J. He faked his hardcore's death too. Like, honestly, I think it's fun. It's like, go for it. Like,
straight up, that was awesome. Like, that's just actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, you got to keep your community on their toes. But
so
yeah, go ahead.
So how often is ToB Tuesday? Are you trying to do that once a week? Is it once a month? What, like just whenever you can get a guest? Like, how is that?
Well, I took a break after the holidays there, or around the holidays there. I was just like, I'm gonna take a break from this, and like, you know, I've had a good year. I met my YouTube goals, which last year when I started YouTube, I set the goal of by the end of the year I would like to have 5,000 subs, and I thought that was a crazy goal. I was like, I'm probably not gonna meet this, but I'm gonna try my best, and I smashed it. I went well past that in under a year.
Hell yeah!
So I was like, okay, so this is great. So I'm gonna take a break. But I mean, yeah, pretty much every week, every other week, I'm trying my best. It really depends on guests, like lining up guests. It depends on time. But I'm trying my best to get one out at the worst every other week.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like these last couple weeks here. I've done well. You know, I think my main goal is I would like to with YouTube like consistency. Like I talked about how important consistency is. A video every week. I would like to post a video every week. I think that's like the goal in my head. And I think I can post a quality video every week, given the time that I have people who can help me edit and just all the things together. Because I know there's different styles of YouTube creation. Some people, they put a ton of effort into videos. They spend hours and hours and hours. And there's some people who just rip videos like every other day. And it's like less edited and there's not a lot going on. There's not too much going on there. And I get that the consumer likes both of those things. Like it just depends on what you like.
Yep.
And I'm definitely more towards the putting more time into quality. Not like crazy amount, not like where I'm going to take like a month to make one video. But I'm doing my best to where like I want to have a good thumbnail. I want to have a good title. Like I want to think things through. And I feel like a week gives me time to do that.
That's really good. And it sounds like you actually enjoy that process because that's another like huge thing is you can't just make one super quality video, have your channel explode, and then realize, oh, I don't actually enjoy doing this or I can't maintain this because that you got to be all in. Like you got to find something sustainable enough that has high enough quality that you could consistently do because that's when you're going to really see the big growth. And
yeah, once you get into it and you start seeing the growth and seeing the numbers, yeah, it gets addicting. It gets you definitely kind of obsess over it a little bit. And especially seeing the growth, because I was going to say, like, in all my time doing content creation, the biggest growth I've seen in my Twitch channel, and like it's on the chart, is like Twitch channel, like since I started doing YouTube, my Twitch channel has doubled in size, essentially doubled in size. And I'm not a big YouTube channel by any means. Like I have 6,000 subs. Most of my videos I have a lot of videos that are getting 5-figure views, but I have 6,000 subs, and like just off of that is pretty much doubled this. I have so many people coming in, love ToB Tuesday, or love Based After Dark.
Yep.
Like the stuff I'm doing on YouTube has directly affected my Twitch stream more than just grinding on Twitch ever would.
Oh yeah, it's so big. Like even when I first started YouTube, like I was just making the crappiest rambles, just talking like just without a face cam, just talking, and people would start funneling into my stream. And then when I started the podcast, yeah, it was just so many people would just come in, drop a prime, and be like, "I love your podcast." I'm like, bro, like just spreading out over the internet. And I've only spread myself out over to YouTube. I mean, just imagine going to TikTok and everywhere else. I don't actually I haven't really explored any of those options. Not really feeling it, to be quite honest. I try to avoid TikTok kind of stuff, but at the same time, you diversify your like avenues of content, and you'll end up getting a lot more viewers on Twitch just anywhere. So it all funnels in. It's really cool.
Yeah, I've it's been good. And then I guess kind of in a way changing topics. Based After Dark has definitely helped with that as well.
Let's hear about it. We started out with Based After Dark, kind of just a group of friends or whatever, and didn't really take it seriously, but we were being consistent. We were posting, we were uploading. And then, long story short, I remember it was funny. We had you on. It was the first time you came on the Based After Dark podcast. That episode ripped like 1,000 listens in like a few days. And we were like, holy fuck, this is crazy. It's like, I don't think people understand either. It's like
podcast, like if you get 1,000 views on your podcast, that is insane. Like that is like top 0.111 percentile. Like it is like views on a podcast are very different than like your standard YouTube video. It is much harder to get views, watch time, etc. on a podcast.
Totally.
There's hundreds of thousands of podcasts. Like your podcast is in the 0.1%. Like, and so is ours. Like it's very rare. And like you can look around. Like I've done a lot of research on podcasts. There are hundreds and hundreds of podcasts. They're like at like episode 400, 500, and they're like averaging 300-400 listeners, which is great. Like if you have passion for podcasting, that's awesome. Like, but like it's a grind. And like, I know there's podcasts that it took them like, 5-6 years to get their big break. Like there's a lot of different like comedians podcasts that were just used to be something super small, and now it's like this huge show.
Yep.
But they fucking grinded for 4 or 5 years,
and they did not know that it was gonna get to that point. That's the important thing that people don't see is like nobody expects anything really when you start. You're just talking, and
you're literally fucking.
It's all you're thinking from the beginning. If only I grind this out for 6 years, then everything will be fine. So let's just stick it out. Like you have no idea where this is gonna go. Like just got to keep grinding.
Base After Dark was fully just a passion project that like, and then it was weird. We got in that point where it was like getting kind of serious, and like there are people like like I want to be on the podcast. I want to be on the so. I feel like the issue, and not anymore, but this was the prior issue, is we were trying to be like 3 different kinds of podcasts. Because the only model that we knew in the RuneScape section that was successful is you. And your style is you have a guest on, you interview them, you talk. It's definitely a more personal conversation, definitely a more serious tone. Us, we're complete degenerates, and we talk about a wide variety of topics, not really RuneScape related either. Like we talk about RuneScape, and we should talk even more about RuneScape, but now it's like, now we rarely talk about RuneScape. It's not a RuneScape podcast. It's not meant to be a RuneScape podcast. It's just a podcast that has a bunch of RuneScape content creators on it. And like, obviously everybody knows what we do, and most people who watch us do play RuneScape, but they're not there for us to discuss the fucking next update that's coming up. They're there to listen about our lifestyle. Cause that was the issue is like, we're trying to interview somebody. We're also trying to be like this lifestyle comedic podcast. And then we were also trying to be a RuneScape podcast. We had all these different like elements like flowing around, and it was very apparent because like that would work really good if a guest would come on who we vibe with, gel with really well. Like for example, it was seamless. Episodes are great. But if it was somebody else, like there's a lot of times where like we would just be like kind of going off on our tangents and kind of like building that like comedic, like whatever bit it is we're working on.
Yeah.
And then the guest is just sitting there collecting dust. Like they're just like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like looking around like, what are these people talking about? And then we got to like bring them back in. And like, I feel like eventually we realized that. And I pretty much just did a deep dive and research podcasts, like the formats they're using. And like a lot of them, like they use Patreon to their benefit. And we've started doing that, as in we do Base After Dark, our podcast. If you don't know what that is, check it out. Consider if you want. Might not be for you if you love RuneScape. If you're here for the RuneScape podcast aspect, might not be for you. I don't know. Go at least give it a go.
Yeah, it'll be down in the description. So go check it out, guys, if you haven't.
It is we started doing, essentially, we do the main podcast, which is free, available to anybody on YouTube, and then we would do a very like uncensored, kind of a more free thinking, like just letting it fly Patreon podcast. It's a little bit shorter, but we post one of those every week to basically incentivize people to subscribe to our Patreon, which has worked out incredible. Because like my thought process was, and like looking at other like people who are like when I was researching, I was watching videos of successful podcasts talking about like what you should do and why you should do it. Is it really just came down to, if you have a good product and people are listening to it, most of them will probably pay $5 to listen to more of it, which just turned out to be true. We have over 200 patrons, which is insane to me.
That is
crazy
wild
to me that over 200 people are paying to listen to me talk about dick jokes. So, but at the end of the day, like, obviously the product is there. Like, we have a base viewership who really enjoy Base After Dark, and we appreciate all those people, because we're going to take that money, and because we don't even like really acknowledge the existence of that money. First off, that money pays us. First off, that money pays someone to manage Base After Dark. Like, it is a blessing. It is insane that I show up to the podcast, record it, send it to somebody, and everything's taken care of. I have to do nothing. I do nothing besides that. The fact that we've gotten to that point that we have a Jamie, essentially, but most people would realize that, like, reference, because Joe Rogan's the biggest podcaster of all time. We essentially have a Jamie who balances everything, manages social media posts for us, and like the patrons, you guys are paying for that service. And then the other money we are going to take to make more content. For example, here soon, we're doing a meetup in Orlando, and the money that we have made from podcasting, we're using that money to get the place, like where we're going to be staying. Like, we're putting that towards that, and we're going to film multiple podcasts there. So essentially, taking money to make more content, because like I don't think any of us, like, we're not trying to like split that up and like take it as a paycheck. Like, we want to do more. So like, that is kind of the goal, is to use the patrons' money to do more, to further the podcast. Because I feel like we've done a couple IRL podcasts, like in real life, and it's so cool. It feels so official. It feels so good. And even though we've scuffed it the last couple times, the product has still been just really good. And like, the views are so much better on that. I don't know what it is, why it is, but like, people, if you're sitting there on the couch talking and the camera's panning back and forth, I don't know what it is about that, but it just seems to like uptick the watch time of the podcast. I don't know why that is, but
Totally.
the data's there.
Yeah, no, I mean, that just makes perfect sense. I mean, honestly, in an optimal world, like I think I was talking about this with Ignoble, like imagining if Base After Dark got large enough to the point where like, this is actually not only paying for future podcasts and events that you guys are going to host, but like, on top of that, it's actually paying your living, like each of the hosts, So I was just imagining, like, imagine Base After Dark now has a studio where you guys actually meet up. You all live within a few hours of the studio, and you meet there once a week and actually have like a legit studio, like in person, where you're talking, and then you actually like fly out guests. Like, how cool that would be. And
that's a dream.
No, I mean, and straight up, like, it's a much better product, because you are vibing with energy because you're all actually in the same spot. It's so different. Like, I'm in like the caveman days of pure just audio. You guys that are a little bit more advanced and like, the Iron Age. And then there's like the modern day age where like you're actually in a studio together. Like, that is optimal. And that's honestly, like, I love watching really high production values of podcasts that are actually in studio. It's amazing. They're so much more engaging to watch throughout the whole thing.
100%. Well, I was gonna say, maybe for you, maybe this is my pitch to you for the Sae Bae Patreon, because you have a Patreon, right? I'm sure you have a few amount of supporters who really enjoy this podcast. Maybe a Patreon exclusive Sae Bae like ramble. Maybe you sharing your thoughts. Maybe you putting out some opinions that you probably don't want to share publicly. I don't know. Just a suggestion. I feel like a lot of people here might be keen to listen to that. That's not a bad idea.
No, I am always thinking of like, okay, what can I do that isn't necessarily exclusive? I want it to specifically be like extra, because I've loved seeing what you guys have done, and obviously it has worked. Like, over 200 patrons is insane. And like, I've been pretty much plateaued for like 2 years of like around 30-ish patrons, because I don't even really touch the platform much. It's literally just a way to support extra. But I've been thinking, mainly inspired by you guys, I'm like, okay, I got to find something that I would love to do. It doesn't feel like it's gatekeeping content, because unlike your guys' podcast, I actually do have a guest on every single week, and the last thing I want to do is be like, hey, I want to get you on, but I'm gonna chop up half of your podcast and throw it onto this like exclusive thing. Like, it's just like, what? Like, no,
that 100%.
So I have to find something where it's like everything is fully just public, but on top of that, you just have a little bit of extra, and that a ramble type, maybe like talking about the pod, me talking about it afterward for several minutes or something like that. Something could be fun.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You could kind of like a conclusion, like your thoughts on the person you just interviewed, like how it went, etc. Maybe talk about RuneScape. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot you can definitely do that could definitely incentivize people to, support further by being a patron. Yeah. And honestly, shout out to Patreon. Like, it's a great service, because they're pretty much they're giving us everything. They're not taking like some huge percentage.
Yeah, they're really, it's a great platform. And I've also thought about like, maybe if I were to get like guests on twice, maybe I literally just ask the guest because like they already have an episode, and then be like, hey, this would be a Patreon exclusive, and you would get, you know, some of the funding for like, kind of like, it's just so hard for me because I'm wondering, like, do I pay the guest to have their episode privatized for a specific, like, it's just so awkward. I'm like, I don't even know how I'm supposed to go about that. So I've still been brainstorming, but it's definitely something I want to like look into because it is important.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, I feel like it's deserved. I mean, your podcast is huge. There's a ton of people who support, and I'm sure, like I said, you have a good product. So if you were incentivizing to further, I feel like a lot of people would be willing to support to pay for that, and they would be, you know, it would be validating for you as well, I'm sure.
So you have like a weekly thing going on with Base After Dark. You have a weekly thing going on with ToB Tuesday. You stream almost every day. Is that every day, or do you take a couple days off?
No, I would say I stream on average 4 to 6 times a week. It just depends.
Okay.
The length depends too. But dude, I'm living the dream. I really am. I'm living the dream. Between Behemoth, Based After Dark, Based in general. Also shout out to Based After Dark. I know I just mentioned we have 200 patrons. We're actually doing a live special in 4 days. That'll be the 24th to celebrate having 200 patrons and to drop an entire merch line. So I'm also very excited about that. And
okay.
I mean, yeah, like I'm living the dream, man. It's been great. Behemoth is doing really well since we've taken over.
That was the other thing I wanted to talk about is Behemoth. Like, what is your role in that? Because it looks like Tasty is definitely having to do that every single day.
Yes, Tasty is the host, but he's going to be the primary host. T-Papa is the primary, like when it comes to thumbnails, title ideas, and of course just the process of gathering the clips, which is a process that takes a little bit, especially when you have so many DMs and so many people like throwing you clips, like deciding kind of. I mean, you're kind of the arbiter. You're deciding what's going on there.
Yep.
Also, we fully recognize we're essentially the news. We're kind of the news, and that we have power of influence. Like we fully recognize that, and you know, we're gonna try and make it to where T-Papa doesn't, you know, feed his agenda too much. But he's kind of the main. My main role is essentially the Phil guy. So if Tasty can't host, if he feels bad, he needs a day off. He needs, you know, go to the spa, go to one of his fancy dinners. I'll come on and host because I've hosted probably I think 6 or 7 times now. Not 6, maybe like 5 or 6 times now. And then same with T-Papa. If he's busy, if he can't do his role, I do his role. Like for example, these next 3 days, I'm actually feeling he's going out of town. I'm going to be the one doing the document. We call it the document, which is essentially thumbnail. It's the thumbnail idea, the title, and then all the clips. Which like that process takes longer than hosting.
Yeah.
Because like hosting. It's just kind of who you are. Because, like, there's not many people that, like, Tasty can jump on there and knock it out in 30 minutes, but he's fucking Tasty. Like, he's been doing this shit for years.
Yep.
He's made for this. Like, not everybody can just jump on there and rip it. Because, like, when I do it, it takes me even more time. Because I'm less, when it comes to, like, content creation, I'm less experienced than him. It takes me a bit longer. And also, the way I like it cut up is different. It's a whole process. But that's my role. And then also, I'm outside of that. Like, I'm like, my eyes are on the Discord, my eyes are on the social media. And then very soon here, I'm going to be rolling out YouTube Shorts for Behemoth, like a lot of them. So that's kind of my function right now. Essentially, it's just like I can do everything if I need to do it, and then I'm trying to do things outside of the channel that grow the channel. Is kind of my main role, essentially. Okay. And that's kind of their set roles. And of course, we also have Behemoth as well, who is still going to be involved going forward. He doesn't have any part in the ownership of the channel anymore, but he is still going to be involved and still going to be hosting episodes and making, like, you know, thumbnails and titles. Like he does have. There's going to be some days where he's still doing it.
Okay.
I think because he wants to, and B, because there's obviously still a large part of that audience that does really enjoy him. And we want to give people, you know, the most we can. And like, that's definitely, we're doing that. That gives, and it gives some variety too. It's nice to mix it up. It's nice to have me on there every now and then. It's nice to have Behemoth. And like, I'm sure in the future, we'll think about throwing on other streamers. Like, that's something that I want to do too, is like see if a streamer wants to come host. Cause it really is like, if you come on and you crush the host, it's good residual for you. Like people can come check you out, you know? Like Tasty already has a, you know, very successful YouTube channel. But Behemoth has just grown him even further, you know, and given him even more for sure. Like just the fact of hosting it.
So what is the competition sort of between you guys, Behemoth, and RS Chronicles? Like, do you guys notice some sort of like?
Oh, we're destroying them. I mean, it's not even close.
So
Sorry,
they post every other day, correct? Is that how it goes? And then you guys post daily?
Yeah, no, I mean he's a competition. You know, it is what it is. And
But I mean, here's the thing: is it actually competition, or is it literally just people just watch both of them?
No, I view it as competition. I like competition. I think competition. I think it breeds. You know, the cream rises to the top. I'm all for competition. I'm all about it. You know, and we're gonna keep going. Like the machine is well oiled, and you know, I'm gonna be confident in our product. And like my goal is to outdo anything they're doing over there because they're the competition.
Yep.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yep.
Kim Q, like personally, I don't really know him. I don't dislike him. I have nothing against him, but like that's the competition. So, you know, I'm not going to speak highly of it. I mean, it is what it is. Like we're here to win. We're here to do the best we can do. And like recognizing that as our competition, like that's my mindset. Like Tasty might tell you something different, but that's mine. When I look at it, that's my mindset.
It is interesting because I mean, at least with me, like I'm subscribed to both channels. I'll watch, like, I'm not a daily liker, you know, a daily watcher of any of them.
That's fair.
I'll pop in, I'll watch a little bit, I'll see if I'm in it, maybe, you know, just, you know, I'm so into myself, I just need to see if I have a clip on there. But it's actually crazy, just the quality that because I personally believe RS Chronicles, and this is obviously way before you guys took over Behemoth, but it's like RS Chronicles came out and literally polished the shit out of a highlight channel. I'm just like, holy, like this is quality. Like this is insane. The edits are on point. Like this feels so much more quality than Behemoth was at the time. And then that obviously lifted up Behemoth. He had to try to start doing better. And then, yeah, it's really cool seeing how that sort of competitive
that's what I was saying is
that's
why I think competition is good is because like, obviously, he had he had monopoly. There was nobody else who like they were like the bot clip channels, but they weren't doing anything. Like it wasn't like competition.
Yep.
And then like I like Kemp he's a smart guy. Like you say what you want about him. Like I know there's people that don't like him, but like you say what you want about him, but like he's a smart guy. He's like I'm gonna get in on this. Like why not? I have the means. I have the capital. Like why would I not jump into this? And yeah, like you said, he made a very more refined product, right? And then that made Behemoth be like, oh shit, like I gotta step it up, you know? And like that's good for everybody. Like that's why like in general, competition is good. Yep. Like streaming, I don't really view as a competition mindset because there's not really like I feel like in streaming we help each other more than we can like I don't think competition really is gonna like help us too much because like I feel like every streamer is so unique. We're not really doing the same thing. So if you're live and I'm live, I don't feel like I'm competing with you because like what we're doing is completely different. Yeah, we're both streaming on the same platform, but it's like, I feel like we can help each other more by like, I don't know, like bringing each other up.
Collaborating and stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like collaboration is big on that. But when it comes to like a community channels, like for what it is, like, yeah, like it's the same exact function. We're doing the same exact thing. So if there's other different community channels, yeah, that's at that point, like it definitely the competition aspect comes in.
So
and like,
I'm gonna kind of like move on to a tangent of the competition between Twitch and Kick. So Kick looks like they're coming back with a vengeance, trying to steal some old school creators, bringing them over to Kick. So now, of course, Kick's been up for, I don't even know, like a couple years now at this point, maybe 3, 2, 3. I don't know. But I feel like they had a surge where they were trying to take everybody over to Kick and start, you know, really flexing the 95-5 split. But they're doing that again, and this is just happening right now, and I believe you're part of it. So can you explain kind of what's happening? How many creators how many creators are actually moving over to Kick right now? Because I've already started to see the tweets flood in of people moving over. So yeah, if you'll kind of explain a little bit of that.
Yeah, I could definitely take the stand here and talk about it. Yeah, so essentially there are over 30 old school RuneScape content creators who are moving over to stream semi-exclusively on Kick's website, Kick's platform. It's a lot. And I will also say that all the creators who are moving over I would say pretty much all of them are people who are going to be like 100 plus CCV, or they're all very well established YouTubers. Some of which are very well established. Got some big boys coming to stream. On all fronts, but over 30. And of course we already have some creators over there. I know Ginger Beardy was already over there. He recently went over there. Of course, Odablock is over there. Soy Duro, one of the best hardcores in the game. He recently moved over there. Alfie's been over there as well. And I know that they've been kind of lonely over there. I've heard the sentiment that, like they're happy they're getting paid, but like they're obviously they would like some more people in the community, and they're about to get that. So there's over 30 of us coming over from the base team. I'll speak on them. I'm not going to speak on anybody else. I'll let them announce what they want to on their own. I've already asked people on base if they cared if I talked about it on the podcast. But Mr. Nine Rain coming over. I believe he will be streaming there. Elisa will be streaming there. Myself, Tasty Life will be streaming there as well. And Jesse will also be streaming there. And I believe that is it for... Oh, also, the return of Zoe Pancakes. Zoe Pancakes will also be returning.
Oh, shit.
She will be coming back to content creation. She is also signed with Kick because Kick, getting into it. So essentially these contracts are structured in a way to where they're going to be, all the contracts are the same, right? Like the base of the contract. The only difference of the contracts are maximum hours, minimum hours, and the pay, the rate, right? Mm-hmm. So we are essentially being paid an hourly wage to stream there. So if I stream on Kick for 5 hours, I am paid like my basic, whatever my rate is, I'm paid for 5 hours that day. Mm-hmm. And there's a maximum amount of hours we can stream a month, and there's also a minimum amount of hours you can stream a month. For most people, there is no minimum, but some people I know do have a minimum. I'm not going to speak on people's contracts, of course, but like I know that is kind of a thing. But it's insane to me, man. Like I said, I'm living the dream. I'm literally going to get paid a good hourly wage. I'm not going to disclose what I'm making, but it is a good for a content creator my size. And I know what some of the big boys are getting paid, dude. It is insane what some of these people are getting paid. I'll say that. Like, it's crazy. Getting paid by the hour to play video games is crazy to me. And that's what I was saying. If you would have told me 5 years ago, when I was working for the government out in the field, working in law enforcement, if you'd have told me that I was going to be getting paid by the hour to play video games, I'm helping run running the RuneScape, the biggest RuneScape community channel, and I'm making YouTube videos. If you had told me all this stuff, I would have told you you're fucking insane. I mean, it's a lot. But I'm happy. I'm proud, and it's a huge opportunity. And the thing that really like moved me along to signing with Kick is like I know the risk, right?
Yeah. What is the risk for those that are like listening?
I think the main risk with jumping over is just the fact that like you're gonna lose viewership because like obviously, as far as viewership goes, Twitch the RuneScape category on Twitch holds the viewership. It's not even close. The only time that there's a lot of viewership on Kick section is when Odablock is live. Because he typically has anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 viewers. Even over there, he does. Because, he is what he is. A lot of people that love Odablock, a lot of people that don't like Odablock. Say what you want about the guy. He's an insane entertainer. He's insane. He's a grinder. He's insane. He's extremely entertaining. But he is what he is. He's over there. And, so I think the thing that, like, pushed me to the finish line of signing was obviously, like, the pay is great. And, like, that's well before subs, donations, etc. And like I thought long and hard about it because what I've built on Twitch has taken me so long to get where I am, man. And like I really had to think hard about it. But I also know that my stream, it's all community driven. I know that I have a strong community, and I know that a lot of them know me, and they know that what I am doing is best for me. Like they know that like. I feel like they can believe that I'm doing what's best for me, and I genuinely think I am by going over. But what really pushed me to get there was the fact that over 30 creators are also coming with me, because I feel like it would feel a lot more terrifying just to jump over there by myself. It really would. Yep. But like having this like wide variety of like established content creators who are also jumping over with me, who a lot of them you guys might be surprised of. We got some big boys coming over. People who like supersede me as a content creator times 2, 3, 4, So I'm excited because I know that with the base principle of that is that with all these people coming over, I know there's going to be viewership in that section at all times because we're going to have all these different people who are going to be live, and people are going to be streaming too. Because what's the incentive? You're getting paid by the hour, so you best fucking believe people are going to be live as long as they can be live.
Yep. And part of this contract is you still stream on Twitch. And you still can stream on Twitch, but in order to even start the kick stream, you literally must start on Twitch, correct?
Yes. So everybody will still be streaming on Twitch. Like my thing is I'm probably going to stream on Twitch anywhere from 30 minutes to like an hour-ish every day. Kind of say hi, say hello to everybody, what's up, do a little bit of content, and then jump over. Like that's kind of be my approach. And it's just a good way to let people know too. People are, because not everybody knows. Not everybody looks at my Discord. Not everybody looks at my Twitter. There's people who just watch Twitch and are like very casual, but maybe they're a subscriber. Maybe they're 15 months. Because I have tons of 20, 30, 40-month subscribers who have stayed subscribed to my stream and continued to support me. And, I think a lot of those people will come over. And just with all the different people coming over, like even if like I'm your second favorite streamer, Tasty might be your favorite streamer, so you're going to come over for him. So that just gives you the base service of you being on that website. There's definitely some risk though, and like I know that there's some people who have a lot of negative reservations about Kick, due to the fact that they're owned by Stake, which is a massive gambling corporation. But for me, like just me, this is my opinion, like me ethically, morally, I don't really see a distinction between Stake or Amazon. 'Cause Amazon owns Twitch, right? I realize that there's bad things going on within both of those companies. I'm not trying to stand on a moral high ground with either of them. That's why I feel like I'm doing what's best for me. Like I'm not making the decision based off like basically who I'm working for, essentially, because I think there's a lot of bad shit going on both sides of that. Like there's plenty of things to pick from if you want to go through the list, but I'm not here to do that. I'm just saying like I don't really have like a moral dilemma when it comes to those two. That's me. Some people might. I respect it. Like that's your opinion. To me, I don't. So then it just comes down to what is best for me, and I think it really is. And I do believe this. I do believe who the staff over at Kick, they genuinely care about paying streamers. They clearly want to pay streamers. There's no question about that. And like you can say, well, where's the money coming from? But like Amazon has just as much money at stake. Like it's no secret that Amazon is one of the biggest. It's the biggest web service there is. Like they're making billions and billions of dollars, and they still are taking half the sub revenue from streamers over there. On Kick, yeah, the split is 95-5. If you subscribe to me on Kick, I get 95% of your subscription. And I do know that when I do start streaming there, when someone does subscribe, that's going to feel really fucking good knowing that you're getting your money's worth of supporting me, and I am getting it as well.
Yep.
Because like, I don't know if you ever feel that, but when people subscribe to you on Twitch, like, I don't know, like I appreciate it 100%, but I always think about it. I always think about, damn. Like I'm like, damn, they're taking half of this. They're taking 40% of this.
Yeah. No, and I think honestly, I would probably bet that Partner Plus wouldn't have even been a thing if it wasn't for Kick. Like who knows?
Not.
I don't know like all the logistics on that, but like just the fact that Kick exists makes me happy because there's at least some competition going on. So Twitch can't just do whatever the hell they want at all times and be totally fine with it.
I'm grateful for Twitch. I love the platform. I think like as far as UI goes, chat, all that stuff, like they're the best. Like there's they're better. I think it's better than Kick. I think Kick will get there. It's a very new website. Like think about when Twitch was made, how bad it was. You know what I mean? Like it's going to take some time. I get that. But if I can be on the right side of history here, I would love to be. You know what I mean? And yeah, I appreciate Twitch. I think Twitch, like when it comes to, they've like updated their Partner Plus where they're going to do 60-40, 70-30. Like I think they're taking a step in the right direction. I truly do. But I don't know. Like people are talking about like Kick is going to just, it's going to disappear. But the thing is like Stake can run the Kick at a loss for 10 decades and like nothing will happen. Like it's not going to affect their bottom line. If you look at how much money Stake is pulling in, especially considering like the staff they have there, which is very minimal, is insane. I mean, they're making hundreds of billions of dollars in the net, in the green. Like it's like they can run Kick as long as they want at a loss. Like it's really just up to them what they want to do. But you know, I do think there can come a point to where Kick takes over. Like they just need to, there's like the base is there because essentially it's green Twitch. It's green Twitch. Like if you look at the interface, the UI, it's green Twitch. That's what it is. And I think there's a few, like they need to add a couple API things for bots, and they need to add like, you know, your functions. Like they need a channel point system, obviously. They probably need to like do some incentivized stuff, maybe like for example, Twitch's hype train, like stuff like that.
Yep.
But outside of that, though, it's just green Twitch. Like they're lacking a couple of things, but it's pretty. Like I've been over there. Like you know, I've been over there. Obviously, like I'm signing a contract to stream with this place, so I've gone over and looked at streams, looked at the chats. All the moderation. Go ahead, go ahead.
What exactly happens with like I don't know if Twitch cares at all. Like I know when, or at least I believe when like Shroud and Ninja went over to Mixer back before that went bankrupt. Just or it didn't go bankrupt, but they just quit the service. They like lost their partner badge, right? But that's not the same thing that's happening here. Like you keep your Twitch partner badge, right?
No, because the new partner agreement is you can stream anywhere you want. If you're not signed to an exclusive Twitch deal, even if you're a partner, you can go stream wherever you want. You just can't multi-stream. I can't like if like you, for example, you cannot multi-stream on Kick. Yeah. And Twitch as a Twitch partner. But if you wanted to just go over and stream on Kick one day, you can. It's not exclusive.
I see.
Yes.
I was wondering
okay, yeah.
Go ahead. No. That's okay. That was it was mainly my question just regarding Kick because I know you can do it already with YouTube and Twitch. You can stream at the same time and still be a partner. So I was just wondering what was the deal with Kick or not. So, but I think Kick has that. Is it Twitch that has the problem, or is it Kick that has the problem that you can't stream on Kick and Twitch at the same time?
It's just Twitch. It's literally just Twitch. And I know during my contract with Kick, I cannot stream on both at the same time.
Okay.
I cannot. Or I probably. I mean, it would just be exploited because people are just going to. If that was the case, if we could do that, then obviously most people are just going to do both. And not care about Kick. They're just going to take their hourly rate there and not even interact with it. Like that would that's probably what you would do. You would just be stealing. You would be stealing money from Kick at that point. Essentially, that would be, unless they like wrote. It would just have been on the contract.
Okay,
but
interesting.
But
so
I know that
these contracts last just a few months. What do you anticipate happening? Like, is this something where they're just trying to grab you, or is this going to be a consistent pay, like so you can extend it afterward? Like, I don't know how much you're allowed to like disclose from the agreement or whatever, but like,
I think so. My contract is 4 months. I'm going to be there for 4 months, and basically the way I'm approaching it is I'm going to give them all. I'm going to give them my best. They're paying me an hourly rate to stream on their service, so I'm going to fucking give it my all, just like I do on Twitch. I'm going to put everything I can into it, and then some. You know, I probably even more so, you know, like I want it to succeed. I would love for Kick to become a viable place. I would love for communities to migrate there because at the end of the day, in my opinion, Kick is paying you better. And like, you know, unless you have some moral high ground of where you just like cannot condone that Kick is owned by Stake, like it's just a better deal. It's a better deal for streamers. If the chat is basically the same, the community is the same, I think it's just best for streamers. And if as a viewer, if you really want to support a streamer and you want them to continue streaming, it will allow them to do that. Because I feel like the issue is with streaming is, and I've seen it, is like streamers come, they grow, they blow up, and then, you know, they slowly, like they do the, you know, quote unquote full time, and they slowly realize that they just are not going to be able to make enough money. Like, you might make enough money to survive, but are you going to be able to save? Are you going to be able to, like, plan for your future? No fucking way, man. Not at this level. It's just not happening. That's the main reason why before I, like, decided to send it full time, I wanted something solid on the side that was going to cover my basic needs. And that's why I decided to do that. Because, like, even if you're doing, like, for example, even if you have 1,000 subs every month on Twitch, like, most places in America, it's still going to be tough to make it. Like, you can make it. Don't get me wrong. You can make it. But are you going to be, like, saving and like making real money to where you can, like, invest in things and, like, plan for your future? Probably not, you know? So it's, but, like, if you flip that around, because, like, for example, say you have 1,000 subs on Twitch. Twitch is taking a half of each one of those subs. Unless you have Partner Plus or unless you have, well, they're doing the new thing that's 60-40, which is going to be pretty easily attainable. But even then, like, essentially if you flip that around and it's Kick, you're making double. It's double the amount, double, which is a big difference. You know, that's another couple extra $1,000 that you can use to invest or put into savings or have an emergency fund or whatever. You know, like it really allows streamers to like take it more seriously. And I think the whole like hourly rate thing is another way to like feel secure. Like, you know, your baseline, you know what you have, you
Yeah.
know for a fact what you are going to make. And like, it's like I was talking about, you know, Zoe, and I'm sure she doesn't mind me sharing. The reason she stepped away from content creation was because she couldn't afford to do it anymore. She couldn't afford it. She loves streaming. She loves content creation, and simply streaming on Twitch was not enough to support like the lifestyle and the things she wanted to do in her life.
Yep.
And Kick is giving an opportunity to where you have a baseline of money that you're guaranteed for hours worked. And that is what is, you know, giving her the ability to come back and start streaming again. So, I mean, I feel like it's big for a lot of people. And
So
especially streamers around our size, like even like me, you, and around our size, it gives us the ability to make like taking away anything outside of like content creation. It gives you the ability to make real money where you can make real life decisions.
yep. So I have like 3 questions. One is, does Kick pay you for ads, or do they take all the ad revenue? And are there even ads being put on your stream?
Well,
On Kick?
I was gonna say the good thing about Kick right now is currently, you know, maybe this is advertising for us Kick streamers, but there are currently no ads ran on the website. Even if you're not subscribed, you have to watch 0 ads. There is 0 ads at the moment. Not a single ad is ran. Yep.
That's crazy. Okay, so there's no ads now. So I know they have a gifted sub thing. Are there such thing as bits and other things like that, or is it? How does that work?
I believe there's something called Kicks. I'm pretty sure there's something called Kicks, donation, and of course, yeah, subs, gifted subs. It's exactly the same as Twitch.
Okay.
When it comes to subscribing and gifting subs.
So the last question then is, do you think Twitch will start paying their because one of the
I hope so.
one of the cool things that Twitch has that is nice as a partner is you're paid for the ads that are ran on your stream. So you do get kind of an hourly rate. It's probably nowhere near what the contracts are on Kick, but depending on how many viewers you pull, you can, you know, pump up your revenue hourly just by running ads. But
yes.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. Like, do you think that Twitch might start going down that route of like paying creators? Because I don't feel like they have any incentive to do that. I mean, they're clearly the kings on top, so they don't need to do any of that.
I don't. I think we're way far off from Twitch paying creators to stream there. Like, genuinely, I do think that, but I think that I think Kick is going through right now, and yeah, they're essentially scalping like creators that they want from each section, and they're bringing them over. And like, as far as a contract goes, yeah, at the end of 4 months, if things are going well, like I'll re-sign, like I'll re-up. And I know this too is like, shout to Crusader, because all these creators that are coming over has been done through Crusader. You've had Mason on here before. Shout out to him. Like they've worked their ass off to make this happen. And I know that they've essentially negotiated to where Kick cannot offer us less. They can't offer us if they want to re-up the contract. They cannot offer us less. It has to be the same or more. I know that is essentially what is happening with that. So I think that's a really good thing, because essentially, like, you can re-up and get what you got before, or you can get more depending on how you perform. Because if you perform really well and you grow a bunch, obviously, yeah, like they're probably going to be more inclined to keep you around, and they're probably going to want to pay you more.
Yep.
So, you know, like you can essentially get a raise based off your performance. So, like, that's cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I think that they've made it really clear, like talking to staff, and like they're not going anywhere. They have no plans of going anywhere. They have it's very like we're on the look, like we're coming. Like that is like that's the mindset, and kind of like what I'm getting from their staff. They're not gonna lay down to Twitch. They're gonna continue to just rip it because they can. And like I said, they could run that company at a loss as long as they want. I mean, it just I don't know. So.
Crazy times, dude. Damn. Yeah, we'll see. 30 creators though coming over, and you've only just said the few that are in base that are coming over. There's some other big ones. What do you think will happen to the Twitch cat? Because I'm just thinking now, because I'm staying on Twitch, so I'm just wondering, like, is this, some like the mass migration over to a different platform? I wonder if this is going to be like a benefit to the people that stay. But
I think it's a benefit. I genuinely think for those who do not come over, because there are a lot of people who are offered who said no. I think it's going to be a net positive for all you guys, 100%. And I hope it is, because say for example, say things do go really well for all of us on Kick, and like the viewership maintains and we're all doing well and we all decide to stay there. All of your guys' numbers are going to go up. So if Kick approaches you, they're going to offer you more money. They're going to want to pay you more to come over. True. They're going to incentivize you even more. So I think it's good. And I hope all you guys double, triple, whatever it may be. I hope you guys blow up, It is what it is. And that's the thing too. That's another reason why I decided to accept it. Cause like if they would have came to me and it was like a year contract or like even 6 months, 8 months, I'd have been like, okay, you're going to have to pay more, but 4 months is like I feel like it's like a very nice like trial run. Yeah. And like if it does go bad, like I'll come back, like I'm just going to come back. But I do think also at the end of the day, that switching over to Kick is going to benefit people who have really like strong community base. Like, yes, like I'm not speaking down upon other streamers when I say this, but like there's a clear distinction in the RuneScape like category. There are for example, your content streamers, the guys who are playing the game at extremely high level, they have less of a community vibe. There's a lot of people there for the basic service of watching them play the game at said high level. They're not really there for that community aspect, if that makes sense. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just their style of streaming. But a lot of people who are coming over have a very community-centric stream, where it's about the community and it's about, I guess, the entertainment value of the streamer, like themselves, I guess you could say, if that makes sense.
Is there a Kick con?
I don't think so. I'm going to RuneFest. I'm stoked about RuneFest. Yeah. I can't wait to go. I feel like going to RuneFest. I'm
so excited.
I feel like we're like, because like you've been at TwitchCon.
Yeah.
And like it's just like
that was the best.
For us. It's not for us. Yeah.
I genuinely regret having paid for TwitchCon tickets. Like straight up, because I went there for like maybe 2 hours. And I was just walking around. I'm like, I have literally no interest in any of these conventions. Like any little tent that's set up, I just don't care.
It's just TwitchCon is just like it does give you perspective of how big, like I guess you could say, the Twitchverse is.
True.
Like RuneScape is a speck of dust. If you have like a globe, right? RuneScape's a speck of dust on the Twitch globe. Like there's barely any people there who are like from the RuneScape community. If you're taking in like the totality of it, like of all the people who are there, like. It's very clearly aimed at like just chatting audience, essentially. Like that's the biggest audience on Twitch, and like that's most of the people there. And they're also most of the people there are there to see like the huge name brand game streamers plus the huge just chatting like lifestyle streamers. Like they're there for them. Like they're the ones in the meetups. They're the ones who have their faces plastered everywhere. Like that's really what it's about.
Yeah.
I feel like TwitchCon was just an excuse for RuneScape players to have a meetup because RuneFest was not happening.
Yeah,
and
literally.
RuneFest is going to be sick because like there's obviously a huge player base in the United Kingdom, so they're all going to be there. And like I feel like we can go there and feel like somebody. Like it'll be nice to be like it's definitely going to be validating and a recognition thing because all the people there play RuneScape and love RuneScape. So more than likely you're going to have a good amount of people there who are probably a fan of you, knowing like what the service you provide. Like I'm sure there's going to be tons of people like, "Oh, I love your podcast." Oh, XY is like it'd be sick to meet all these people.
Dude, it is so fun meeting people in the flesh. Like, TwitchCon was mainly just meeting a bunch of creators. There were obviously viewers there that were, that you get to meet, and you're like, oh, you're this guy from Twitch, whatever. But yeah, RuneFest is going to be something entirely different. I'm very, very, very excited. And it'll be my first time across the sea too. So
it will be the first time I've ever been to the United Kingdom, but I believe I'm going to come because I'm going to make a trip out of it. Like, if I'm going to fly across the country, like, I'm not coming for a weekend. I'm probably going to come early, go to London, do London for a few things, take the train to Birmingham, fucking get on the 2-hour train, go down to Birmingham. Hopefully don't get stabbed. Go there. and then maybe go somewhere after that. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely gonna at least get a week out of it or so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very, very excited. Okay,
Yeah, go ahead.
let's head over to this Twitter thread and okay, now I'm just gonna straight up say, like, I knew what I was getting myself into by posting this Twitter thread. Like, you're just gonna get so much garbage in the comments, but it's fine. So I'm gonna kind of pick. Yeah. I'm gonna pick through the shit and just try to find some relevant.
I was gonna tell you, like knowing me, like who I am, community. Like, I know there's so many, just like, especially because I've been on here before. Like, people know me,
yeah.
So I knew there was gonna be a bunch of like stupid posts on there. But there are some decent ones. There's some decent ones too.
Yeah, there are. Scotty asks, he has 2 questions. What do you think is the most valuable attribute you have gained from content creation? 1 of 2.
Ooh, that is that's tough, because like I feel like coming into content creation, I already had a good base of discipline just from, I'll take my own horn. I've been working since I was fucking 10. I've always worked. Family's always been big on work. So I would say I guess it's been good for me socially. Like, I feel like interacting with people, it's helped me, I guess, interact with people I guess be more empathetic, more like sensitized to what people are saying, because I've always just been so, like, I guess sometimes a little too blunt. I still am a very blunt person, but I guess through content creation, I've realized that, some people they don't communicate the same way. So just being like opened up to so many different types of people has definitely like helped me kind of restructure the way I address people, talk to people in a way that is more like conducive for me, just in my personal life and business, etc., etc. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing. It's like it's added to me as a human, as a man. It's opened me up to so many like hobbies and different things too, because like I said, for years, man, I was just grinding. I was just work, come home, or work, go to the gym, come home, sleep. Work, go to the gym, come. I was just like, I was really in it. Like, that's just how it was. Very like low maintenance, wearing the same socks for like 2 or 3 years. I just was very, like, literally these last couple years have been the first time in my life I have like spent significant amounts of money like on myself, like treated myself, because I've just been in that, man. Like working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. Like, that was just what I enjoyed it. That's what I wanted to do. I'd do that, and then I'd stream. I'd do that, stream, workout, sleep. Every now and then I'd go see some friends, do the family obligations, all that. Family is important to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, that's why I said like the biggest shock from like moving towards content creation full time was just all that time. I just freed up 50 to 70 hours a week, basically. And I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck do I do? It's like, should I play video games? Should I just do nothing? And that was part of it is, I think a little leading to the next. What's the next? I think I remember that question. What's the next one?
The next one's fitness goals.
Yeah, so I feel like that's a great segue, is because, I had all this free time, and like, I just was like, you know what? Maybe I kind of started enjoying myself a bit, I was working out less, doing more, eating foods that are not good for me, kind of enjoying, the fruits of the labor type deal.
Yeah.
And I think it was right after TwitchCon. I was like, okay, I'm getting a little fat. I was like looking at myself, looking at pictures of myself, and I was like, it's time to cut back. It's time to put the nose down and get back to like, kind of grind it a bit more, especially in regard to like fitness, because I was still doing a lot of like work, like content creation wise, and like, I struggle with calling it work just because I've worked a very difficult, demanding job. So like listening to content creators complain about the difficulties of creating content is just like, I try not to be an asshole, but I'm like, come on, man. Like, you haven't made, like, this is, make no mistake. And like, I tell that, like, in general, content creators are lazy. I'm sure you can agree to that.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But like, I don't feel bad for anybody who's a content creator. I really don't. It is a privilege. It is a blessing to be in this position. And if you think anything otherwise, you're ignorant. You have no idea what's going on out there in the real world.
Yeah.
It is, people are working their fucking ass off. They're killing themselves working. I mean, we're very lucky. And if you're a content creator and you're listening to this, you need to realize that. You really do.
Yeah. I'm blessed to have at least, definitely to no extent of some people that have really suffered in the work field, but like I just remember the job I had at this metal factory.
Oh God!
For a few months, like that when I think back to getting paid $10 an hour working at this fucking shithole, and just I was literally poisoning myself with this metal particles in the air. I would come back home from a 10-hour shift and blow my nose, and black dirt and grime was coming out of my nose, and my fingers had micro cuts on them. And I just am looking forward to this paycheck of a few $100s every couple weeks. I'm like, Jesus.
That's reality, man. That's reality for a lot of people. There's a lot of people who are working manual labor jobs, and they're not doing it because they want to. They're doing it because like a lot of those jobs nowadays are paying better because nobody wants to fucking do it. Everybody wants to work from home. Like working from home sounds great. You don't want to fucking go work in a metal factory. But yeah, man, it's I'm blessed. I truly am like humbled and blessed. That's why like I'm so taken back by the fact like the whole kick thing we just talked about, like that I'm gonna get paid hourly to play video games. It's just a crazy revelation to me, and that it's even possible. And I'm really just blessed.
Yeah.
But
so you say, okay, so did going full-time content creation lead to like unhealthier habits in regards to like nutrition and just working out less or something, or like how did that affect you, and like what are your current goals with it?
I think it was the motivation, because in my prior line of work, being in shape could possibly save my life. Like it had like real crossover, like being in shape, going to jiu-jitsu, training, like all that stuff, like had like, I'd wake up, I'd run 2 miles, like I was, on the fucking, Giga Chad grind set, whatever the fuck you want to call it, like just going as hard as I could, pushing my body. Like I was in Terminator shape. Like I could fucking run, I could fight, I was heavy, I was big, like I was more than confident in myself, like with most average Joes if I had some type of confrontation or thing I needed to handle. But like, like I'm saying, I'm sitting there staring at the wall, like, damn, I have all this time now. Like, what am I gonna do? It's like, do I need to be in tip-top shape to be a content creator? Obviously not. No, this is like one of the it's like that's like the lowest requirement is like physical health. Physical, like when you look at like the totem pole of like things you need as a content creator, like your physical fitness is very low on that list. So I think it started as like I'm just gonna kind of I'm gonna enjoy. Like I found like kind of I was still like working out. I was still like eating healthy here and there, but like I was like I was throwing in like big like gluttonous meals and slacking off in the gym for sure. And yeah, I was pushing at TwitchCon. I was like pushing 260, like 260 pounds. Like I was in shape. I was big and strong still because I was still working out. But there's just a lot of little things I wasn't doing. I wasn't like cardio centric as much. I wasn't doing as much cardio. I was the calories were way more than they needed to be. The quality of food wasn't probably as good as it could have been. Like things had like faded away, and like after that I was like, okay, like I've had the big TwitchCon, I've had like the last few months I've been really like enjoying, like it's time to cut back, it's time to grind. And like in regard to fitness goals, like those have been my fitness goals for this year. I wanted to do a cut until about like April and see where I'm at. But like right now I'm at, when I weighed the other day, I was 239 pounds. So I've cut off about 20 pounds since I started in, when was TwitchCon? October, second week. So I started right at the end of October there. I got deathly ill after TwitchCon.
Yep, same.
As a lot of people did, and that was the first time I've been sick to where like I didn't want to get out of bed.
Bro,
usually like I'm
same.
sick. Like yeah.
I was fucked up. Like I literally had to call my mom, and I'm like, Mom, can you give me some fucking NyQuil? Like I'm actually just like I'm straight up like I don't want to get out of bed. I didn't have anything. Like I didn't have ibuprofen or anything in my house because I hadn't been sick for years, and I'd moved to a different apartment. And I was like, I'm good, bro. I had the most pulsing, throbbing headache. My temperature was like 103. I'm just laying in bed. I'm like, I'm drenched in sweat too. Just like, oh my God, it was just the fucking worst thing ever. So yeah, I was there with you guys because I remember listening to the Base After Dark episodes. Like every single person got sick. It was like one day after the trip too. It was like everyone got sick.
Yeah, it was funny because like the next couple of months, I feel like Tasty was sick like 4 times. Like he just like couldn't like beat the fucking, like he always sounded like he had a cold. He always sounded like he just woke up. Like he's sick for months. It really yeah, that shit slapped me. But here's the thing. Yeah. I was barely eating during it, and like I had like dropped it like just like water weight wise, and like I dropped a few pounds. I was like, you know what, this is a great start. I was like, this is a great start to the cut. I'm like, I'm already got a little head start here. So that's like that
It's
was like the beginning of like starting the cutting. And like, dude, for I think it was like December and like most of January, I
yeah.
was like going, especially December. Like December, I went crazy hard. Like I was really
Okay.
like November, December, I really was. I was on 2,000 calories, like trying to get a
What
big
the
caloric deficit
fuck? That's
to really just cut
Bro, when
down.
you're 260 and you're eating 2,000 calories, like how are you not like in how can you even like function? Like
And some
that's
days it was really
crazy.
tough, but like mainly just like caffeine, I think is the main thing that pushed me through that.
Hmm.
But like yeah, I was definitely in between like 2,000, 2,500, like for like a good month. I was at like a really, and I really was dropping weight fast, and then I moved back. Like right now, I'm probably like it's like between. I try and stay under 3,000 for the day. Then like I'm
Yeah,
a bigger
yeah.
guy, but that's still pretty low for me.
So what's
Um,
like your like ultimate goal weight like you think you would thrive in that you would look good, feel good, and you'd want to maintain?
I think like 230, 230 is like perfect for me. I feel like it's optimal for my health, optimal for how I look. Like I look good. Like I'm not trying to like fucking be a bodybuilder. I'm not trying to have like huge muscles, etc. Like I know genetically I'm most blessed with my legs. Like people know me for having like the big leg, like big
Yep.
thighs,
Yep.
specifically the thigh board. Like I know I have big thighs, and
I
like
bet
that's
those like
fine.
totally shrink down on these cuts, right? Like in
Well, that's the
comparison
thing.
to
Is
how big
like
they can get.
yeah, for sure. But it's like I also get the cuts though. Like I get
That's true.
it's
The
more like
veins and everything.
defined
Yeah.
veins, vascularity, all that stuff. Yeah, like I've always like I'm never gonna do steroids. I've always wanted to do steroids just to see like where I could get. Like that's the like
You
I
would
just
get
wish I could
big,
see like
dude.
I just wish I could see like what I could get to, like how far I could like if I just had like if I could reverse time, if I could like just rip anything I wanted to for like 3 years and just I just want to see like the type of physique I could like obtain because like yeah like they say like if you have a good base for something like when you jump on like it really shows like where your like strong points are.
So
So
there's like this saying like when you start working out, when you start getting big, you will forever feel small. Did you ever like struggle with that when you I mean it seems like since you were a kid, I mean
yes,
you'd
I
always been
think
pumping weight.
well yeah I started working out when I was 14 years old because of football. So
Okay.
that's like when like usually like American football. Like when you hit high school, that's when you actually start doing like weightlifting. I know nowadays they're training kids earlier, but not doing like weights. They're kind of just getting them ready to do weights
Mm,
essentially,
mm.
like doing movements and stuff with body weight to get them ready for like actual weights. Because like one of the greatest tools in the world is the simple push up. The simple
Yes.
push up is one of the greatest exercises of all time. Like, you know, say what you want about it, but do 100 push ups. Tell me how you feel. I don't care what like shape you're in. Like, you're going to feel it. You know, like it's incredible. But off of that tangent, I started working out when I was 14 and I never really was working out for physique because like for football, it's just strength training. It's all the Olympic lifts, like all strength centric, low reps, high sets, low reps. You're like trying to push towards, you know, you're trying to max, you're trying to peak, you're just trying to get stronger. That's the main goal. You're not trying to like build like some crazy physique. Like in the process, you are building a physique, but it's just not one that's for aesthetic. It's just for pure strength, power, etc. So that's kind of the base. And then, you know, after I got out of that, obviously, like I got older, like I started working out, like doing, you know, physique centric stuff. Like I'd never done like football. We never did curls. Like we're not fucking. No one's doing curls. Like that was one of the things. Like I had like no biceps at all. Like I just had this big chest, like shoulders, like big like triceps, and just like no biceps. Just like we never work on biceps. It's not really
Yeah.
like a centric muscle group that you're really using in football very much.
Mhm.
Like I mean, they were like small, but like not really developed, and like I just started doing a lot of physique based stuff. But I think I think like the 230s like is kind of like ideal for me. But as far as what you're saying, you said if I felt like I've never been big enough. Is that the
Yeah, like
question?
it's basically like just that saying where you will never be big enough. Like so, like even like you kind of just imagining getting on steroids or something. Like, would there ever
Yeah.
even be a point where you felt like, okay, I'm big enough now, or is it just
Yeah,
never
no,
ending?
because no, I feel like it's never ending for people who like really get into the gym. It's never ending. But I feel like I moved away from that when I
Mm,
got into doing martial arts, primarily jujitsu, which I believe is the most practical martial art for like if you want to defend yourself, if like for defending yourself or like working out, like it's a really good thing. If like if you want like a hobby, if you want to feel like confident in yourself, like go to jiu-jitsu gym, sign up, take a leap of faith, like get in there and do it. Most of the places are really good, and like they're gonna ease you into it. They're not gonna stress you out. They're not just gonna beat the shit out of you. Like the first day, they're gonna teach the basics, and then they're gonna start slowly beating the shit out of you. But it's gonna be in a comfortable way. So like once I got into that and realized, I think like, as far as confidence boosting goes, that was probably one of the biggest confidence boosters for me, is getting into that. Because one of the most humbling experiences you can have, because I still go roll sometimes, and a lot of times I go, it's just like to check my ego. Because like I have some guy who's like 200 pounds or like 180, and he's just fucking me up. And that's just like, it's a good feeling. It's a nice humbling, like, like, okay, like brings you back down to earth. It's nice. And that's the main reason I like going. But it's also like confident build. It builds a lot of confidence, because like, some of the dudes in those gyms are fucking killers, dude. They're beast. And like jujitsu really, I don't know, it just made me feel confident and secure in myself more than lifting weights ever did. Because I feel like with lifting weights, you're always chasing like some unattainable physique. Whether you're on steroids or not, you're all like, what you have in your head of where you want to be is probably like not going to be, it's not going to be fully obtainable. You're going to be lacking in certain areas.
Or as soon as you do attain it, and then it's like, okay, well, the goalpost moved. It's like, okay, we got to go bigger. And so it's just
exactly.
Like,
there's that too, of course. You go over that, and you're like, oh, well, like this still isn't enough. Like I can't just maintain this. I need more.
Oh God. See,
but
I mean, that's like, because I went to the gym like in college and stuff. That was the first time I really started like lifting weights. And it was only for a couple years, and I never took it super seriously. I don't even think I was taking I didn't have my diet in check necessarily, but I put on a good like frame for my size, and then, just became a degenerate. And now it's all just been about calisthenics and just like overall health, because I don't know. It's just like, I just being older now, like later 20s, I just want to be healthy, and I don't want to like get into that mindset of like never being satisfied with my physique, because I know I get into that, like I do. So I just, so you still roll, like, so that's just like the term for jujitsu, just rolling.
You go and you can go and roll, and like it depends on, you can pay for a month, you can pay for sessions. It just depends on the gym too, because you have like your big name gyms, and you have your like local gyms that are recognized by big gyms, because like the people who are training there are recognized by like the big organizations, which is what you want. Like you want, wherever you're going to roll, like you want them to have like certifications. You want them to have people you want to have like legitimate black belts who are in there teaching people.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
So you do that. You still weightlift, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
How's your cardio then? Because it sounds like you've cut calories. Do you?
Yeah, so that's been the thing, is like I've moved away from like static, because that's what I was doing, dude. Like I was like the last year is just like static lifting weights, just like getting big, basically. Just because like it's easy. That's why I was doing it, because it's easy. Nobody wants to fucking run. Nobody wants to do cardio. Nobody wants to feel that pain. Nobody wants that, because it's fucking hard. Running is hard. Cardio is hard. You would rather go in there and you'd rather lift weights and not worry about it. Like, you want to be big. Like it's like you said, like that feeling of confidence. Like a lot of guys just they go in the gym and they lift like just to get big, but in reality, like it's not really serving to your health that much. It's more serving to you. Mm-hmm. Because the things that are gonna be most serving for your health that involve like a lot of cardiovascular work are fucking hard, and they suck. So it's a lot easier just to lift weights and then be big, essentially. Because man, like the other day I was running and I was just like, I just don't want to do this, but I just forced myself to do it.
Yep.
But like when I'm lifting weights, I'm like, oh, this is fun. Like, oh, next, like you pumped up the music, the pre-work at the pump, like that feels fucking good. Yeah. Like there's a reason, like there's like the famous clip of Arnold talking about the pump is like coming. Like, okay, to me it's not like coming, but it's damn near fucking close, man. Like it's, it's a great feeling. Like,
you know what the worst thing ever is like seeing yourself with a pump, and you're just like, I look fucking great.
Oh yeah.
And then you literally wake up the next morning and you're like, I'm a fucking shrimp. Like I'm just like the tiniest, like just grossest. Yeah. Isn't that like, how much do you think, now I don't know if you're on social media looking up like bodybuilding physiques or just whatever. I don't know what your algorithm is producing for you, but like I will get stuff in my YouTube shorts and stuff of, I mean, dudes that are just on like the craziest pump of all time. And that's all you ever see. So you would never see that same guy just waking up and just being like, okay, he's normal size. Because for me, it's like, it's always,
yeah,
you're seeing dudes at their absolute peak, like their most shredded potentially. And I wonder, like, because obviously for most people that obviously gets into their head and they feel like they can't ever attain like this physique. But, and most people are on some sort of juice.
Oh, for sure. So social media has like, it is like ruined fitness for a lot of people in a way, and not like it's not. I don't think a lot. I think there's a lot of like content creators who are like fitness influencers. I don't think that's their goal. I don't think they're trying to do that. But
they have competition.
People,
like you need to now be better than the next guy. That's
exactly. They're competing with other content creators trying to like get their brand out there. They want the supplement deal XYZ, and but you have people who are like like. Society's pretty online. Like you fucking walk out in public, everybody's scrolling on their phone. What do you think's on their feed? Those people are on their feed for sure, especially the big influencers. And it's just it does give an unrealistic like view of like what's attainable. Men and women, like both sides of that.
Yep.
Both sides of that. And like it is definitely, I think, discouraging. Like I think there's some influencers that do a really good job. With like encouraging people to go to the gym, but there's also some that like that's not their stick at all, and like I feel like it's definitely is demotivating. Like a lot of people are just scared to go to the fucking gym. They're just terrified to go in that public space. When in reality, it's like one of the most inviting. Like at least in my experience, is like people are super kind in gyms. They're super considerate. Like they will move out of the way for you. They'll spot you. They'll help you. Like it's kind of definitely a brotherhood, sisterhood where everybody's kind of in it together. Everybody's there to get better. Nobody's there to like judge you. Nobody's there to like I don't look at people in the gym. I'm like, oh, look at this piece of shit. Like, if I see somebody who's clearly like in bad health at the gym, I'm happy for them. Like I want them to succeed. As we all should. But I feel like one of the biggest like hurdles for people is just going to the gym. And when you're like sitting there in your bed and you're not in shape and you're out of shape and you're scrolling through social media and you're seeing fucking David who's jacked out of his fucking mind with like the V tapered cut and he's like fucking 10% body fat or 5% body fat or whatever, and you see a woman who's just like no waist, fat ass, insane thighs, she's beautiful, like that stuff. Yeah, like it definitely can like demotivate you for sure.
Yeah. The crazy thing that I didn't really realize until a couple years ago was like fitness influencers will take like a yearly photo shoot of a bunch of different photos, a bunch of different outfits, a bunch of different scenes, and then use those photos throughout the year.
Yep.
So it looks as though they've just been maintaining this 8% body fat, but ultimately, like they just suffered, got to one point, and then like, all right, I'm just gonna fucking carb load again. Like Jesus Christ, this is hell.
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing people don't realize is like those influencers, they're going through different phases. They have like a bulking cycle, they have a cutting cycle. They're like constantly fluctuating because they're trying to balance living an enjoyable lifestyle on top of being a fucking like premier fitness influencer who has a crazy physique. So yeah, that's 100% true. They'll do like the big photo shoot and have like photos planned out for like 3 months. You're like, all right, I'm gonna fuck off now,
Literally.
And then go on a vacation, get a little fat, and then get back into it. Because I feel like I'm not a fitness influencer, but that's how I felt. I was like, I'm at a good spot right now. I'm gonna fuck off for a bit. Like as far as like nutrition and fitness goes, is I'm gonna kind of indulge a little bit, buy some things for myself, go to some nice, like eat some nice dinners, blah blah blah. And then I slowly worked back to where now.
And it's so much easier to get back on the grind once you've had a vacation. It's like, okay.
Oh, dude,
and you're like juiced up. Like you're just you have so much more like energy from all the carbs over just the past couple months, and you just got this extra fat on you, so you just have so much more energy to like expend.
Yeah.
So you're like actually excited about going back and lifting and partying.
I think you have the motivation and the goal too. That's definitely something as well.
Yeah, I'm always wondering like myself, just because with me, like I'm not taking anything too seriously. It's all really body weight stuff. I have like some weights. I have like a barbell that I just use for like curls and stuff because again, like I don't really hit my biceps much, and I realize I need to because they're just small compared to everything else. But dips bar, like a kettlebell and some other things, but most of it's just body weight stuff. And
Dude,
yeah,
That'll get you there.
No,
I'm
it
a big
does.
proponent of the home workout. When I'm not feeling the gym, I just can't get up to get in the car, drive to the gym. You know, if I'm like in that down mood, I got a couple dumbbells back here, push-ups, curls, rows, press the dumbbell off the back. Like I'll just do a little full body, a little 30 minutes, get a little sweat, and then I
Yeah,
feel
no,
good. I
that's
feel okay. I'm like, oh, I did something. You know.
totally.
I
And
think that's a problem too. Is people think they have to like go and do like this full detail, like you have to have this whole plan. Like just go to the gym, just go to the gym, move some weight around for 30 minutes. Do nothing crazy, don't hurt yourself. Like have good form, control the weight,
yep.
but you don't need to. You don't got to kill yourself.
You really don't, especially when you're beginning. Like, bro, if you were, because I mean, I had people in my stream asking me like, oh, like, what do you do to keep yourself in somewhat good shape? And it's literally just daily stuff. Like if you want to get big, like it's good to take days off and only work out, like 1 or 2 times a week per muscle group and stuff like that. But when you're literally just focusing on health and just like maintaining a decent physique, like you can literally do daily things because you don't need that much recovery, especially when you're just doing body weight stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like last night, I just destroyed my legs. Like it's very like, because I feel like once you get into that point to where your body is like comfortable, then intensity becomes a factor. Because like intensity, like I feel like you have intensity and then like control, like those two things. Like once you get that right, like you can really make some gains fast.
Yep. Yeah, but for a lot of people, like straight up starting out, they think they have to have like this whole plan. They have to like get a trainer. They have to go. I was like, bro, when you're starting out, like when I was starting out, it was like, let me just try to do 50 push-ups today over the course of like 3 sets. Like, let's just see if I can do 15, 15, 15. Like just within this, like, and you do that for, a few weeks and just keep building up. You do some body squats, like body squats and push-ups. Like if you just did that when you're
You'll be sore.
Yeah, no, you will be very, very sore, and you just build up. And I think the biggest thing is like just push to failure. That is the hardest thing to do, but that's the thing that's going to just stimulate the most growth.
That's all I always talk about is like, this is my advice. And like, I'm not going to have any type of fitness guru or expert, but I do have a good amount of knowledge. Is if you're trying to start out in the gym, don't go with your friend who's been working out for 3 years because they're going to put you through their workout, which is going to kill you. Don't do it.
I could barely sit on the toilet for a week when I did that. And like I was doing solar. I was doing this like summer solar sales, like trying to sell solar to people. And there's a guy, I mean, I had this roommate that was just jacked. I mean, like 6'4", 10% body fat, probably like fucking 230 pounds, just pure muscle. I mean, just jacked. And he's like, okay, we're going to go to the gym. It was like 2 in the fucking morning. We like go over there. And we literally did this circuit with him. And I was like, oh yeah, like I'm going to try my very hardest. Like I want to, like, dude, I had not been to the goddamn gym in years. I just did that. And bro, I literally was like, I was tearing up trying to sleep because I was just so sore. Like my whole body was just aching. It was the worst thing ever. So yeah, don't do that. Good advice.
100%.
So, but yeah, it's nice when you have a lot of free time now because you're a content creator, and I try to take advantage of all the free time I have. It's nice because I feel like when you are really busy, there's times in your day where you're like, man, I really wish I could like do a workout, but I'm actually so busy with work or whatever you're doing. But when you have so much time, you can really squeeze in a good workout when you're feeling it too. That's the best thing about it. Because
sometimes, I'm a psycho. Sometimes I feel it at 1 a.m. and I go work out at 1 a.m.
That's amazing to be able to do. Like you can just do that. Yeah.
Sometimes it just depends for me.
Totally. Okay. Schmacko asks, when you were drunk, I heard you yell, "I've never half-assed anything in my life." Can you please talk about your relentless work ethic and why are you scared of playing a UIM? Dude, I'm scared.
I am scared of playing UIM because I make a lot of jokes about UIMs. I make a lot of jokes about like HLC skillers. It's all jokes. Like I respect the game. Game is game. I'm good friends with UIMs. I love Schmacko. Shout out to Schmacko. He's one of my favorite streamers. I think he's a great streamer. Go check him out if you have not. But I mean, yeah, like Jake C, insane. Whale, insane. Like those are 2 of my good friends, and like I'm a fan of the UIMs, low key. But like it's just not for me, man. I don't think I can handle that. Like my brain, it's so much. It's just a lot of It's a lot of I don't know. I'm just so accustomed to playing a main. It would just be like I feel like I would just be stun locked, just staring at the staring at the screen.
Bro,
Like I feel like I could play it in private, but trying to live stream that the way I like to live stream and interact, I would just be like losing my mind. I'd be short circuiting.
Even the UIMs that enter my chat say how much hell they're going through. They're like, oh man, like they're like. They always say like, dude, you should play a UIM. It's like, why are you even asking me to do that when you literally will say like, I'll go do a hard clue within 5 minutes. And they're like, bro, if I got that wildy step, I would have had to like rebag and like go fucking suicide a Hespori and spend 15 minutes like fucking organized.
So
I'm like, what are you even like? You are literally discouraging me from ever even attempting to play that mode because that sounds like straight up ass. Like, why would anybody want to just waste 20 minutes rebagging shit? Like, oh my god, that sounds like hell.
So I have a hardcore Iron Man. It's a secret alleged hardcore Iron Man that I play sometimes, and like it's just a little side thing I do, and like that's enough for me, man. Like I can like that is like the shock of playing that account, like just in my own time, like watching the little guide and I'm like clicking like back and forth, like doing exactly what the guide's doing. Like I cannot imagine trying to start an Ultimate Iron Man. I just let me get far enough on the hardcore, maybe one day, but I just don't think it's gonna happen.
I mean, normal Iron Man is that is the very small step from main to Iron Man in comparison to like the step from Iron Man to UIM. It's just like a completely different ball game.
Yeah, that is true as well. I really just feel like it's just such a leap because like playing an Iron Man, like it's definitely been challenging for me. Like, but like it's not like I can handle it. You know, it's not like you said, it's not a huge step. Definitely different, but it's just a lot of. I guess it's just a lot of like chores, I guess you could say. I feel like I'm just like I'm going through the guide, like the hardcore guide I'm following. It's just like do this. It's just like a bunch of little chores, and some of them are kind of fun, and like it's like you get the little dopamine. They're really like you get that good feeling when you complete it, and then some of them you're like, I want to fucking die.
Yep.
So it just depends on what it is.
So in regards to work ethic, do you think you work harder now? Like, do you think you have the capacity to work harder now as a full-time content creator? Or do you think that's kind of diminished?
I would say, if anything, I work less. I feel like I really, for about a decade of my life, was just pushing myself to the extreme of how much I could work. So, and I haven't felt that exhaustion because there'd be times where, you know, for example, I worked nights too towards the end. I would work 10-hour shifts, and I'd wake up, I would stream for 4 hours, go to work 10 hours, like probably go to the gym at the end of it real quick, come home, go to sleep, do it again. I'd do that for a few days in a row, and then I would literally just have a time where like I would like just collapse from just like not collapse, but like pretty much just have to go to sleep from just exhaustion. Just like I would need to like rip like an actual 8-hour sleep session instead of functioning on 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Like I'd have to sit down and make myself sleep because I was just exhausted. I have not felt that way since I've been a content creator. I've never felt that way. So just because I don't know. I feel like when you have that obligated, you have to be there kind of work, like it's different.
True. Do you still do those 24-hour streams, by the way?
No, the 24-hour streams were mainly to like push myself to max, but I was doing those while I was working. So like I would come off like a week of work and have a few days off, and I would rip one of those, and then I would just be in a coma for like a day, and then I go back to work again. Like I'll do some crazy shit. Like I'm not like I'll give myself that. Like I was a full just crackhead, just really pushing it, like pushing my body. Like I definitely took a few years off my life, but that's okay. Like that's fine, you know. If my life expectancy is 80, like I don't want to. 70 to 80 doesn't sound fun anyway. Like you can take a couple of those years. Like that's all right.
Okay, so how much caffeine do you drink? Like how much did you drink, and now how much do you drink?
When I was working, definitely more. When I was working, I'd say I probably average of like 500 milligrams a day.
Okay.
5 to like 800, which is, I believe FDA recommended is no more. Over 300 is when you're becoming like an unhealthy.
No.
That's
I
like
think
over 300.
No. I think it's isn't it like 400 or I want to say it's almost 600 is like the. Let me actually look that up because I remember looking that up like recently.
Is it? Maybe it is 400. I'm not sure. It's more than you would think it is. Let's
see.
And like with caffeine being my vice,
400.
Okay, it's 400. So yeah, so that was like so like you gotta. I drink like a Bang, right? 300. That's 300. Then maybe like a cup of coffee, which is like 80, like a standard like cup of coffee, like to get me through the night. Because I remember that was always what it was. It's like I'd start out like shifts with the shit. I'd hit the like I'd try and I try and hold off on the bang or like whatever energy as long as I could until I really started like feeling some like tiredness. Kill that, ride that until towards the end. Like right towards the end, I'd always like stop by and like get like a cup of coffee or make a cup of coffee or something, just to like get me through, get me through the last couple hours, like a little bump.
Yeah.
But I really did try to make an active effort to not consume an unhealthy amount. Now, when I was doing like 24-hour streams, I'd rip like 2 or 3 energy drinks. That was definitely unhealthy. But like most like for like the standard like working times, like yeah, I would try my hardest to not like have to depend on caffeine. But it's so good, dude. Caffeine is, and I'm okay with it being my vice. There's way worse vices in this life than caffeine, so like it's okay. Like I've accepted that. Like that's my vice. Better than alcohol, better than nicotine, better than certain drugs. I'll take it. Like that's my, because like I genuinely don't. I probably drink once a week because I do like on Saturdays I do drinking streams, and like a lot of times I'm like I rarely get super drunk. Like I usually just have like enough to get like a nice buzz or like a low level of drunk. I'll only like turn it up past that if that's the vibe. Just depends, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty casual drinker, or sorry, social drinker, not casual. Like, when I do drink, I like to fucking drink, but definitely a social drinker. And then like I don't smoke. I don't. Besides the vacation vape, I do like the vacation vape, and I've been using this vape recently. I don't know if you know, it's the Homie Hunt. But I help host their draft show. It's like a big bingo competition for a RuneScape CC. And I bought like a vape as like a prop to like rip the vape during it, you know?
Yep.
And like it hasn't died. And like every now and then I'll hit it. So like I'll be like, before I go to the gym, I just take a hit of it. It hasn't died yet. It won't die. So whenever it dies, I'm gonna throw it away, but I'm not gonna waste it.
So like vacation vape, like I'm just curious because like I've never vaped or smoked nicotine ever. So I'm just wondering, like, how addicted is it? Just depending on the person, how addicting that can be? Because I swear, like, what I've always heard is like, as soon as you start, you're gonna realize how great it feels to start getting on nicotine. It's a great little bump, great little high.
It is nice. It is nice. I feel like with the vape, like, first off, I feel like I barely inhale any of it. 1 and 2, I feel like it's more of like just the oral fixation for me. I don't know. I just like ripping the vape.
No, straight up. I mean, I understand that, because when I stopped vaping weed, I just wanted to vape something. Like it's just fun. It's just like fucking fun to just put something in your mouth and just suck it. It's like, this feels good.
Wow. That's... I'm not gonna clip that out for a sound alert. That's pretty good. But I mean, yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Oh my god,
it's something about it.
Yeah.
It's just but yeah, like when we do trips or events, I'll go to the, it's one of my favorite things, like fucking bounce up in the seat. We go to the gas station and I'll buy an elf bar and I rip the fuck out of that thing until we leave XYZ location. Like any based events we do, like every time I go out of like the state, I go on like a week vacation or something, I buy the vacation babe. And then dude, at the end of the vacation, I throw it away. And it's like fucking dude, it's like
you're not like wanting to do it again. Like you're just good until the next vacation kind of, or you kind of like,
I think shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I definitely think about it. Like I go in the gas station, I see one, I'm like, that'd be nice, but I don't act on it.
Damn.
I don't know. I feel like I'm just, maybe it's I just don't do it enough to get to that point to where like I can't mentally persuade myself from it. But I literally, at the end of the trip, I throw it away, and it's definitely like, I see why it's addicting, because like I feel like, if you've seen Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
I feel like fucking Frodo trying to throw the ring in the fucking Mount Doom.
Yep.
Like it's like I'm fucking I can't. It's tough. Like,
bro, that was me with my fucking weed vapes. Like there was like multiple times where I tried to stop, and it's like I remember the first time I tried to stop, I literally threw. I had like 3 vapes. Like 2 of them I hadn't even used yet. I just had like those 2 for like later. I threw all 3 of them away. I was like, I'm just gonna be done with this. And then literally like 5 days later, I'm like, that was a fucking mistake. Like I'm just gonna buy some more. And then I bought some more. And then the next time when I wanted to quit, I was like, I'm not gonna throw these away. I'm just gonna like put them away. But it's just like, it's impossible. It was so hard for me to just totally stop.
Yeah, I don't know too. I feel like it's easy for me to cope too with like the few vices I do have, because like I'm friends with T Papa. I'm friends with Hamzy.
Yeah.
I'm friends with like people who just have like their vices are like
crazy.
they got some wild vices, and it's just like, know what, I'm doing all right. This ain't too bad.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
caffeine, vape here and there. Like, it's all right.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's balance, man. It's just life. Life is just balance, and you just got to find what works for you. Because like, I'm not trying to live to be 120, but I'm also not trying to die at 50 from a heart attack.
yeah,
So just got to find that balance where you're enjoying things, but you're also not overindulging.
totally. Okay. Bronx Bombers asks, how was getting tased in officer training, and did you shit your pants? Because everyone has to be tased, right?
No, that's actually not true. Not
That's always the
everyone does
rumor
have to
I
be
heard.
tased.
Okay.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of practices in law enforcement, where you have to be the weapon, whatever weapon system it is, has to be used on you. That way, you know the effects of it and how it feels. That way, when you use it on somebody else, you understand what they're going through and what they're feeling, and and how much you should exert and how many times you should do it, etc., etc. For those of you who don't know, in my prior line of work, I worked for the government and law enforcement in a variety of positions, from response teams on a prison to narcotics to standard supervision and just police work. But I'm not gonna get into that. But that's my background. And yeah, I've been tased, and I would much rather so there's like the two. That's like two of the things that typically are used on you. You got the pepper spray and you got the tase, right?
Yep.
So pretty much the standard spray that police are using is most of them are using a unit that is CS and OS, which the CS is the chemical. That's the pepper extract. That's what's gonna burn your. That's what the burn's coming from, and then the OS is a tear gas. So that's like a combination of both of those things, to where your face is fucking burning off, and then on top of that, for about 10 or 15 minutes, you're gasping for air because you can't fucking breathe because it's fucking up your respiratory system. I would rather be tased 3 times, get sprayed with that shit. That shit fucking sucked. It was misery for like 3 hours. And then of course you have the after effects. Like it can reactivate later when you take a shower. You have to like wash it off. It's just a fucking.
Oh my god, that sounds horrible.
It's a whole day experience with the fucking with the spray. But the
So-
tase is like it's literally 20 seconds of pain, you're done. Like it's 20. It's if you okay. So let me. You've had a Charlie horse, right?
Yeah, they fucking suck.
Okay, so being tased is like that, but your whole body. That's
So,
the best way I can put it.
what do you even focus on at that point if it's your whole body being Charlie
You
horse?
just
Like,
squeeze, just squeeze and ride the lightning, baby. That's all you can do. Squeeze and ride and then you like a lot of people. There's been people who've like shit themselves and pissed themselves, but it's super rare.
Okay.
But everybody lets out involuntary noises. Like I've seen some big guys get tased and they just go. all the way down to the ground. They let out like the most high pitched like squeal noise you've ever heard.
Oh my god.
And there's people like I've seen, more specifically, I've seen women take it better. Like maybe like that's just like the sample size that I've seen. I've seen a lot of people get tased, and like women in general, for sure, women take it better. Like they like don't make a noise. They go straight down on the ground and they're good. That's what I've seen. Like that's just from maybe that's just coincidence. Like I would I don't have a huge sample size, but like from what I've seen, that's what I see.
So how long were you tased for that? Like how many seconds is it? Is it just?
It feels like a fucking eternity.
Oh my god.
It feels it does feel like it feels a lot longer than it really is. I know that, but I know that like first off you have all the training before, but I believe it's between 5 and 10 seconds.
Okay.
It's been a long time, but I believe it's between 5 and 10 seconds where the electricity is being applied. Essentially,
Jesus.
I would have to like look it up to see, but I believe it's between 5 and 10 seconds.
And-
I could be wrong though.
And so is the pepper spray that you guys use, is that like the same as like what somebody would just buy for self-defense, or is it more intense?
Yeah, the stuff that's available for self-defense, most of it is just the CS, which is just going to be like it's the pepper extract. It doesn't have the OS in it. I think it's sold though in some places. I'm really not sure because it's different from state to state. It really is.
What is so what is the lethal amount of like being tased that would like actually kill you? Like, is there a certain amount of like seconds that's like, okay, this is just actually just fucking dangerous, like at this point, or
I'm
is
not
it
sure.
never
I
lethal?
believe like here's what I think each burst is like. I know it's between like two. It's like between 2 and 6 seconds. I just don't remember the exact time. Like it's definitely on there, like the training manual, whatever
Okay.
manual I did. But like this is years ago now, so I don't remember exactly. But lethal, I don't think. I'm pretty sure unless the person has some type of unless the person that's being applied to has some type of condition, like medical condition already, I don't believe it is lethal. It's not lethal in nature.
Okay.
Somebody would have to have certain like medical conditions for it to have that possibility, because it's like also depends on the taser. There's so many different types of tasers, so like it depends
Yeah.
on what type of taser you're using too. But the ones that I've used, I don't believe could be lethal, even if you wanted them to be. Because
Because
you can't hold on the juice. You can't just hold it.
okay.
It's
So
a burst. It's a burst system. The ones we were using.
so I've seen videos of like, people, there's cop videos of people getting tased and they still just get up, like they pull it off of them and start running. Like, is that just because it's a weak taser, or are they just fucking juiced up on some drugs or something? They're just like,
There's so many factors. You have so you got to think, the bigger the human, the less effective a taser is.
okay.
Because you have the current that has to go through their whole body. So
Yeah.
typically it's less painful for bigger individuals. And then you have adrenaline, you have the possibility of drug use, you have the possibility of the prongs not getting attached to the skin properly to conduce a full current to shock said individual as well. Which also happens a lot too, especially when you have thick clothing involved. Like if you shoot somebody with a Carhartt jacket with a taser, it ain't gonna do nothing to them. It's not gonna it's got to latch in. It's got to make the current. So
I see.
yeah. Dude, there's so many different factors. So,
Okay.
in my prior, I was never either of those things. Those are the last two options I would use. I like to use my hands because I trained with my hands to use my hands to control people. That's why I think jujitsu is the most practical. That's why it's being taught to, like in all all police standard training, like the basic self-defense that they're like training police to do is all like, thankfully now, is the base of it is BJJ. They're teaching like a lot of basic stuff there, because a lot of stuff you'll learn in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is control techniques, which is good, because you think about the submission aspect. Like you're not gonna, like, as a police officer, like obviously we don't want police officers fucking submitting people to render them not a threat. Like we don't want to fucking, like that's 1,000% against all policies that are in place now. But we do want police officers to be able to control somebody without having to use a taser, without having to use pepper spray, without having to shoot somebody who does not need to be shot, which is obviously is a big issue, which is a big issue why people don't fucking like the police. And I completely understand. So like, if you have a well-equipped officers who know who are like, they're in shape, they train, and they can control those individuals with their body, then, you obviously have a way less chance of somebody being killed or, spraying pepper spray, taser. That's a lot of paperwork you probably don't want to do.
Yep.
So, but, I never, also like before, like just getting into policing stuff, like the base of policing, like your first, like you look at the force continuum, right? The base of that is presence. That is like the biggest issue, because the way you're going to respond to a police officer, if they are 5'8", fat, out of shape, their uniform looks like shit, the way you're going to respond to him and view him versus guy who is the same but in shape, squared away, obviously like, very cognizant, like the reaction to those two different types of people is completely different. And like that is like one of the biggest things. I mean, it's even stuff like there's literally like they have like conducted research on individuals who've killed police officers and asked them, the basic question, why'd you do it? Because I thought I could,
Damn.
because, he didn't look squared away, essentially. Like that's like as simple as that is, that's a thought process. And, it's true. I've even seen it, trust me, I've worked with officers who are dickheads, who should not be police officers. Like, I mean, I've worked with those people before. And they're on a scene where they have somebody who's not acting in compliance with what they want, and I show up, and the way they treat me is different just because of my presence. Like I've seen it just at that like base level. But like before any of those things get involved, dude, just knowing how to talk to people is like that's half of that job. It literally is. It really is. Like people, I think people overcomplicate it, but like more than half of that job is just respect. It's just like the basic respect, and also respecting somebody who's being an asshole to you, because it's easy to do. I've had people saying all kinds of shit to me, and I'm just calm as shit. You know, and like it's you don't have to. If you escalate, you put yourself at risk.
Yep.
And you're putting that person's life at risk possibly. So you literally like that's always been my approach. Always is be respectful until someone allows you not to be.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a very big line for me to process. But like, I feel like it's tough. There's just a lot of people who don't have that mindset. And there's a lot of people who just don't need to be police officers. Just like there's a lot of people who don't need to be doctors. There's a lot of people who don't need to do whatever manual labor. It's everywhere. Yep. So.
Okay. Jesse asks, favorite restaurant with a mushroom cap?
Favorite restaurant? That's a tough question, dude. I'm a fat ass, man. I'm a fat kid at heart. I love food. Obsessed with food. Always have been. Always thinking about food. I'm thinking about food right now. I'd never not think about food. It's just,
So in your mind though, because you're not sure and you're gonna have to think about it. Is it just are you just kind of in your mind going like weighing your options between the Michelin star restaurants you've been to? Like, are those always going to be on the top, or are there other selections?
Yes, but it's like it's a different kind of food. It's like a completely different.
It's not food. It's art.
It's like it's definitely food. Like if you go to a real Michelin experience, do the tasting menu, you're gonna leave there feeling like you're about to explode. Don't like if you eat all the plates. Like people, I feel like that's the stereotype, and like I know this before I've like went to these like really fine dining establishments, is like, oh yeah, they're just gonna give you those little plates and like you're not gonna get full. That's not true. You are gonna, if you eat everything they put in front of you, you are going to be about to explode when you leave there. It's a full on like, it's a marathon. Like like the places I've been to that do like a full tasting menu,
mm-hmm.
it is like it's a 3 to 6 hour experience. And yeah, is it expensive as fuck? Yes, but if you have a good group of friends, as someone who is frugal and has always like been a cheap ass most of my life, it is worth the experience. It really is. If you have like a good group of friends to experience with, it's really fucking cool. And like I wasn't sold on it. I just like Tasty talked me into the first one. I was like, fine, I'll go. And I went, and I was like, wow, this is I was like, this is fucking sick. So like, it got me into it, and that's what goes back to like what I've like learned, like what I've been like exposed to in content creation, like just shit like that. Like it's just something new I'd never done. Mm-hmm. And like if it wasn't for content creation, I wouldn't have had that experience. And now I'm a fan of it. Maybe not as big a fan as like Tasty or T-Pop is, or even Bodie, because Bodie, he's a big fine dining guy. He's all about it too. But those places are up there. Like, and of those places I've been to, the place we went to in Vegas is called Joe Rubichon. It is a 3-star Michelin place. That is, as far as just base at the food, like the tasting menu we got, it's the best. That was the best.
What was the best thing you got there that just blew your mind?
Oh, dude, the scallop they had there. Like I've eaten a lot of scallops in my life. This thing was like butter. I have never in my life eaten a fucking scallop that was that good. I don't know what they put in it. I don't know what was it. It was an insane dish. I've never in my life, like I was blown away. Like
that's so
just because
cool.
I've eaten, it was incredible.
So at those places, do you ever get something that's actually just nasty that you just don't want to eat, or is everything just impeccable?
No, everything I've never eaten at a dish on those tasting menus where I was like, I didn't like this.
Wow.
There's been ones where I was like, that wasn't that good, but no, dude. If you open your mind and just put it in your mouth and eat it, and like you got to show up hungry too.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
That way you have the incentive of trying something maybe that doesn't look appetizing. But everything I've tried there, I've never had one where I was like, that wasn't that good. There's been ones where I was like, oh, that was good, but it wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it.
Wow.
It is.
I gotta try one.
If you have a group of friends, anybody who's listening, if you have like a group of friends and you have like a 2-3 star, even like a 1-star place like Michelin restaurant that has a tasting menu, give it a shot. It's a really good experience. It'll probably be really fun, especially when you throw in the wine pairing. Like it's a good time. It's really fun, And like we've built like so in Vegas there's a restaurant there called Guy Savoy. It's a 2-star. It's in the Caesar's Palace, and that's the very first one I ever went to. I went with Krylax, Tasty, T Papa, T Papa's wife, and I think that was it. Maybe there was somebody else. Oh yeah, Marza Bun, which I know you know her. She went as well, and that was the first one I ever went to. And we went back there when we went to Vegas recently with Bodie and everybody, and they remembered us because we were like really like fun and like loud because they're used to like, dude. There's a lot of people in there like. You can see the rich people. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
there's a guy in there just like eating by himself, like a full tasting menu, just eating by himself in like a full like dress outfit.
Legend.
Like, just looks depressed as fuck.
Legend.
Just looks so sad, and just like eating by himself. I'm just like, holy fuck! Like, you'll see definitely some really wealthy people in those places, and like it's pretty clear that they're not used to people like us.
Yeah, they're probably annoyed.
Yeah, and they were like. Yeah. They were like the staff there, like they loved us, like they loved that we were like really like interactive with them and talked to them a lot, and we're like really polite and wanted to like talk about everything. And when we got back there, the head guy recognized us and he showed us their special table that's not like available to anybody. Like they have a special table in the back, it's in the kitchen, and it's got like this like big plexiglass thing around it where you can like watch what happens in the kitchen, and they offer like a separate special tasting menu for that table, and like separate special champagne. And he was like, next time you guys come back, we want you to come here. And I was like, that's fucking like that's sick. Like that was cool. Gave us his card and everything. I was like, okay, like this is sick.
That's fucking dope, dude.
Yeah, I was like, we got the VIP section, so that was super cool. But yeah, I feel like, I have like a distinction between that type of food and then just like the home cooking, baby. You know, like the fucking, like just like your everyday like food joint you go to. And for me, that's easy. It's just Nashville hot chicken. Like that's what I'm going for. Like I love hot chicken places. There's so many, but like just any of the good ones in Nashville, I would say are probably my favorite places to go. Like I get up the most for that, 100%.
See, we have like a Nashville hot chicken place here. And so is it customary to like drizzle honey all over it and then dip it in like a sauce and eat it? Or is that just like because
some people do that, but it's not served that way.
Yeah, because that's what I do now. Because I read like you're supposed to drizzle the honey on it. You know, it's not obviously served that way. You got to drizzle it on yourself. But like that, yeah, I'm sold on it now. I can't like eat it without it now.
Yeah, if you like the sweet and hot, like if you like it sweet and hot, like yeah, if that's up your alley, yeah, like that's definitely the way to do it. But the standard way it's served, it shouldn't have any honey on it.
I see.
I respect it though.
Yeah, no, it's I was impressed. It was delicious.
As I like the hot and salty. So like I usually go if I know I'm gonna be there for a while and I can like drink a beer, I get the hot because like Nashville hot chicken, it's fucking hot.
Yep.
So like if you get hot, it is fucking hot. It's not like a lot of places where like the mild hot chicken is gonna have some spice to it. It's not gonna like kill you or anything. It's definitely mild, but it's how mild should be. Like you're gonna feel a little heat, but it's okay. Because like you thought you think like Texas Pete or something, like that's not hot. I mean, unless you like really douse something in it, it's not hot. Like come on. But like the mild is mild and the medium is like hot. You know, it's like you're gonna feel it for sure. And if you get hot, it's fucking hot. It is hot. Like if you eat it real fast and you take it in fast, like you might be in pain later.
I've eaten,
and then of course there's a couple levels above that which are just like insane. That's for crazy people.
Yeah, those are just like the not even enjoyable. You're just like you just want to be tortured basically.
Yeah, just for this. But there's people who are just accustomed to that and actually enjoy it. Like there's people who get the 1x hot, 2x, 3x, you know, inferno death, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Hospital bed. I once ate a ghost pepper, just raw ghost pepper. When I was 18, and I literally was in tears, and like 4 hours later, I was crying. I was actually crying from pain because like my bowels like were just on fire, like my whole stomach, and I couldn't like there was no rest. Like I could not like get comfortable in any position. I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand, I couldn't lay down. Like it was just the fucking worst thing ever. And and then like the next 2 days on the toilet was just the worst agony. The worst, yeah. And I love spicy stuff, but yeah, you don't want to go too extreme. It's just not even fun.
Yeah, I'm big on the spice. Like I love spice, but I'm not like
You
as
don't,
much as I eat spicy stuff. I've not like if people say you build a tolerance. I don't feel like I have. Like I feel like hot is fucking hot still. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not getting any less hot because
yeah.
I use hot sauce as a condiment. Like especially when I'm doing like healthier meals, like chicken, rice, greens, all that kind of stuff. Whatever like
hmm
whatever the standard like bodybuilding type meals you want to talk about that have like good macros. Like hot sauce is like a very common condiment used because there's not really much macro in it. It's just kind
Yeah,
of like
just
it's
salt.
not really it's like mainly just sodium is like the main thing you're taking in there. So I use it a lot.
Okay, Saint Tits asks, will the big beef streams ever make a comeback? If not, what incentive would inquire you to bring it back?
Hey, I might have to on Kick. I'm gonna need all the help I can get over there, so I might have to bust it out. Big
What
Beef
are
is
those?
referring
Yeah.
to Big Beef is referring to so like back when I first started streaming, like people don't realize like I started on Twitch. The only reason I started streaming is the RuneScape boss Vorkath, which I know I've talked about on my prior cast. I was dry for the pet. And I told my friends in my my little PVMCC, I was like, if I make it to 5,000, I'll stream it. I'll stream it live until I'm done. I started streaming just because of the Vorkath boss. I wanted the pet. I was I was close to 5,000 KC, and I told the people in my PVMCC that if I made it to 5,000, I'd start live streaming it, which obviously I did. And yeah, I started going live on the laptop, shitty webcam mic with the gain turned all the way up. And I remember I streamed for maybe this is encouraging to anybody. Hopefully this is encouraging to anybody who is like starting out streaming. I streamed for probably like 2-3 months with I probably averaged 2 viewers, maybe two.
It's
I have
exactly
the
me.
screenshots, man, and like it's like looking back at it, like looking at those screenshots, like makes me feel like emotional, because like it's like just coming from that to where I am now, which like I'm no fucking famous person, I'm no fucking Dr. Disrespect, XQC, you name big streamer, but just coming from that to now is dude it's a lot like looking at it because like I have all the screenshots of those like stream summaries where it's like you stream for 5 hours 1.7 viewer average. It's
Ugh.
just like just zero traction.
Yep.
And I finally like I did this idea like I finally started kind of getting a few more viewers. I think I was averaging like maybe like 4 or 5 at this point because like people it was mainly just people in my clan. They're like there's like 1 or 2 people from I had no idea what I was doing, dude. I didn't have better TV. My gain on my mic was blasted through the roof. I was just a complete lunatic. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just yelling and like doing bandos and killing Vorkath. I had no clue what was going on. I didn't know anything about streaming. I didn't know anything about the community aspect, the culture, etc., etc. I was just a guy. Like I had no clue. Just brute forcing basically. But I didn't even know I was brute forcing. I just didn't know. I was just ignorant. I didn't know how streaming worked at all. I knew nothing about it. Like I
Yep.
had watched streams before, but it was like lurking in Bodhi stream or something like a year or two ago. Like I've like only the big guys. So I knew nothing, and it took a little bit to get to that like 5-6 viewer range, and then I improvised this idea of the big beef, which is where I would cover myself, like get like a stringer on, like a bodybuilding stringer, and just get all pumped up and just cover myself in oil and stream with the big beef.
Holy
that was
fuck.
that was the idea. There's a clip.
Is there a
You
screen?
can go-
Is there a clip or a screenshot I can see? Show the people.
You can probably maybe you can show this. This
Show
is
me.
like probably the most you can throw this up too. This is the
Okay.
most like iconic clip I guess you could say from that. I can't believe this has 1,500 views too. But this is from one of the big beef streams right here where I'm covered in oil screaming. That was when I was pretty big too. That's when I was like working for the state and working in different prisons.
Holy.
I was pretty big. I was doing a lot of like powerlifting. I was probably like 260ish right there, pre 270, pushing 270 probably. A big boy. And that's when I was quite younger too. Like what is it? That clip that was 4 years ago. God, I'm so old. I clipped this from 4 years ago. But yeah, so what happened is shout out to Oda Block. And then this is the funniest thing too, is Oda Block rated the streamer Stella, which is also funny because they hate each other. This is so long ago, right? So the streamer Stella, who had all the, the Jmon, dating the Jmon allegations, all the scandalous whatever bullshit. I don't even care. I don't know anything about it really. She just, I remember I watched her VOD because I was like, why'd she raid me? She raided me. I got the secondhand Odablock raid back in the day, from back when he was in the duel arena, fucking with the parakeet flying around his room screaming. Like, I got the secondhand raid from her, and that propelled me to the 10 viewer, 12 viewer average. Finally, I got some exposure to where some people had saw me. And it just so happened the next day after that raid, I did the first ever Big Beef stream. And after that, I finally had got some viewers outside of just my friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And things started to slowly get a little enough, I was up enough in the view list to where some people were finally trickling down and watching my fucking terrible live stream. And slowly went from there. But that is what the Big Beef is. And I mean, yeah, maybe if we get back down. Some people, that's another thing with Kick too, is I'm confident in myself. I'm not scared. I've streamed to one person for 3 months, and I'll do it again. So it is what it is.
Yep. No, just straight up, we had very similar experiences because the first 3 months for me, I think I averaged 2.8 viewers. So
Firm handshakes, baby, from the bottom.
Yeah, no, literally, when you experience that, and you probably even remember those days where
I'm not scared of nothing, man. That's how I feel about it.
No, I mean, straight up, dude. I remember there were days where I would stream. I'd have 2 viewers, 3 viewers, 1 viewer, 0 viewers, and I'm just camped at 0 viewers while live streaming for an hour. And I would just end. I'm just not streaming to anybody. This is going nowhere.
Did you ever keep? Do you keep the view count on? Because that's dude.
That's
why streaming.
I always had my view count on.
I
always had it on, dude. I always had it on because the thing is people would say, "Oh yeah, always have it off, bro." I would have it off, and then all I'm thinking about is, I wonder what my view count is. I wonder what my view count is. I wonder. It's I couldn't not have it on. Even to this day, I still have it. Always, I just have my creator dashboard open, so it's always there. I'm not gonna purposely hide that stuff. And honestly, yes, there's pros and cons to having it on or off. But I feel
dude, I'll peek it every now and then because sometimes, dude, you never know what it is. It's dude, this is a good example. The other day, I was I felt like the stream was kind of going slow, and I was like, is anybody fucking? I clicked the thing. It says 220 viewers. I was like, what? I was like, what are you guys doing? Fucking say something, bro. I'm fucking drowning out here. What? Just you never really know.
That I think it's weird because it can almost give you nowadays. I don't really I don't stress about it. One, once you get partner, you don't have to stress about it as much. Obviously it kind of sucks when you're just lower viewers in general. Obviously it's a better feeling having higher.
Yeah.
But it's for me, it's just a good I don't know what it is. It's it makes me it kind of gives me a bump if I'm doing if the numbers are up, and if they're down, I don't really care as much. But it also kind of I don't know how to really explain this, but mindset wise, I just need to see it. I need to see. Well, it does affect my mood, but it's it doesn't affect me negatively enough. It actually just. How do I? Okay, I'm gonna kind of visualize this. It's having a gauge, a meter, and it can go down a little bit, but the high goes up a lot higher. So if I have a bunch of viewers and I know it, I'll be a lot more energized and I'll be a lot more engaging with my stream because I kind of want to subconsciously keep the viewers around, and I want to be as entertaining as possible. But if I'm lower than normal, it doesn't negatively impact me as much as it would positively impact me, if that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense. It's better for you in the totality. It's better for you to have it on, for the way you like to stream.
And if I have it off, I will be more stressed out because I'll just be thinking the entire time, what is my view count? What is my view count?
Yeah, I rarely think about it because I try to continue to talk if I can. It's usually towards the end of the stream, then I kind of let the music take over, and I once I've expelled my thoughts for the day, I've let the garbage out of my head. I will kind of zone into just kind of maybe focusing on the game a little bit more. And dude, that's been one of my main goals. Content creation this year, I did set some goals. One of the main goals was to take RuneScape a little bit more seriously. Now, am I going to be fucking Adicon? No. But do I want to take the game more seriously and play the game at a higher level to an extent? Yes, and I think I'm getting there. So
I heard you're going for Blood Torva. How's that going?
I am going for Blood Torva. I've been doing a series on it, and that's like another thing with the whole like ideas that just came to me on YouTube that
Hmm.
like have done well because I'm doing a series on Blood Torva where essentially I started the series because orbs are not cheap, especially when they came out. They're like pushing 3 mil each, right?
Yep.
And like I'm watching like No Monkey it's like he's one of the best players in the game, right? Day
Hmm.
one it takes him like 100 fucking orbs. I'm like, okay, well I'm not taking 100 orbs. I'm taking 800 orbs. So like I don't have the money for that. I didn't have the money.
Yep.
Like I had the gear to do it, but not the money to buy the orbs. So I was like, well, how do I approach this? And I was like, I kind of thought about it and I was like, well, my whole like thing is I like pet hunting. I want to get all the pets one day. Like that's my like overarching goal is I want all pets,
Okay.
all of them, even the skilling pets, even the shitty ones. Like I'm mining amethyst right now.
Nerd.
I am at 21.3 mil without it. So
See this.
fuck mining.
I've always thought you were just a top end, but here you are over 20 mil mining XP. Fucking
Hey,
nerd, dude. Skiller nerd.
I feel, dude, you know what's funny about skilling is
What?
maxing made me appreciate certain aspects of skilling to where I was like, oh, I can go for these pets. Like, this isn't that bad. It's kind of nice. Like,
Yeah,
like
it's
every
like
time
chill out
I'm,
content.
yeah, because like every time I'm doing YouTube stuff, I yearn for the mines. I'm in the amethyst mine whacking away. And I can cope with the amethyst because right now an amethyst is fucking, it's 6K each, I think. But yeah,
Jesus.
5.8K each. So, main accounts are happy to hear that. So like
Yeah.
I have like a 90 mil stack of amethyst. So like that's okay. But yeah, the series I'm doing for Blood Torva is basically I kill the boss till it gives me pet, and then the theory of that is obviously getting a pet from a boss can take upwards of a couple thousand kills. And during that, probably the boss is going to drop me a lot of orbs, right? Because they drop orbs decently. It's like 1 in 50 for like most of them. Some less for a couple like Whisper. But yeah, so and it worked out. Like of course Duke took me 3,200 plus KC to get the pet, and in that I got plenty of fucking orbs to do the awakened version. The awakened version took me 30 something orbs. Same with Vardorvis. Of course, Vardorvis took me 4,200 kills to get that pet. So I'm stacked up on orbs. I'm getting all these vestiges. I'm rich. This like series has made me rich as fuck. I could easily just send it at this point, but I gotta finish. I gotta finish. I gotta finish what I started. So I'm currently on the Whisper, and I am pushing 2,000 kills there, which is the rate for pet. So, and I have plenty of orbs. But that's the thing. And I feel like Vardorvis was definitely it looks like the most challenging of the four. And dude, it was really fun actually. Like the challenge of especially of doing it live, because I did it live with face cam, everything, like no cowardness, like put it out there, like. And every time I get the boss close, like, yeah, I get the Inferno shakes. Like, it felt like the first Inferno cave. Like, I get that fucking, like, the adrenaline hitting. Like, it was sick. Like, I really fucking enjoyed it. The viewership was crazy. Like, the streams were crazy. Like, it was fun as fuck. So, I look forward to doing the next two. But, yes, I will achieve Blood Torva one way fucking or another. And then after that, I plan to... So, like, I'm a big proponent of not wasting content. I have yet to do a 500 TOA. Main reason is like I have plenty of friends who could carry me through that. I literally have friends who could do a +1, like let me sit outside the room and get me a a free one, right? But like I want to do it myself. I want to solo it. Like I don't want someone to carry me through it. Like I want to solo it and I want to stream it live because I feel like that's good content and I feel like it's good for me as a player, like as making me better and making me like confident in a raid. Like I can do it. So like that's probably my next goal after the Blood Torva is like soloing a 5, which I don't think it's gonna take me that long. Maybe a week or two, probably is what I assume it will take me to do. Because like I'm decent at TOA. It's just like the more like refined mechanics I need to work on. And then after that, I believe I'll go back to going for the Grandmaster combat achievements, which is what I was like working towards before the Desert Treasure 2 bosses came out. So I have plenty of content. As a main account, I got plenty of stuff I can work towards. And those are the things that I'm probably going to be working towards in the future. And, however long they take me, but I'm going to fucking do it. So I'm persistent.
What's the current pet count at for you?
Oh, I have 20.
Okay.
That's the thing is I've been extremely unlucky with pets. The only pet I've been severely lucky with is the Inferno pet. I got a 1 KC Inferno pet. But in the totality, it's really not that lucky because it's only 1 in 200.
Yeah,
like if that makes sense. Like when it goes to like hours into like when we talk about hours or whatever, like it's not it's not too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. It's different than getting like a 1 kc like Gobbler's pet, one that's like a 1 in 5,000 chance. I think like that's gonna save you way more hours probably.
Or like core pet. Like I gotta. Oh, actually, I guess for mains, I don't know if Are you like when you're going specifically for pets? Are you gonna be like boosting and stuff? Or are you just gonna do the methods you enjoy?
I think I would boost Corp. I think there's only a couple I would boost. There'd be only a few that I would boost. Okay. Like I'm not gonna like when I was doing Kraken, like I'm not gonna hit the fucking Cox. He got fucking 10 ults, you know. Like I'm not fucking like I'm just not playing that way is not enjoyable for me. Can I do it? Sure, but like that's just not my style.
Dude,
like,
when I see Coxie rolling up with like 8 accounts logged in and live streaming and having like song requests and all this shit, I'm like, bro, and he's trying to like record for a YouTube series. I'm like,
he's a beast.
Oh yeah, he is grinding. That I am actually so impressed with how much he can game over the years. I'm just like, how?
Oh yeah, dude. Like I like make a lot. Like he's a common like joke that I joke about and stuff. But like I have a lot of respect for him.
Oh yeah, straight up. Like he fucking grinds, and the content, like his actual like RuneScape content as a streamer is like S tier. I mean, it's fun going into a stream and watching him kill KQ with like 10 accounts. Like that's actually just like you'll never see this on any other stream.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Is his idea of doing it again. When I first heard it, I was like, "That's an interesting thing to do." And then I kind of like I watched the episode and like he started explaining and then I was like, "Okay, I see the payback here. Like this is a really good idea."
Brilliant.
Clearly, it shows he is literally exploded. And because YouTube.
Yep. No, it's a brilliant idea, but it's not like anybody could do it. Like he's the only one that could execute that.
Dude.
Only one that's willing to. Yeah, I know. He just plays.
Can just play just like hour, and no efficiency. Like he's just maximally efficient for like hour after hour because that's always how he's played.
Dude, he's already at 29 pets.
I know he has more. That's what I was saying. I was talking about this motherfucker has more pets than me. I've been unlucky with pets, but jeez, dude. I mean, yeah, I've like,
bro,
I can go through.
How many am I at? I think I'm at like 33, 34. I'm at 33 pets and he's at 29. Like, dude, he's at his account for like a fucking year. Like that's.
I'll give you some of the unlucky ones here. So
okay,
Zora, the Zora pet, 10,000 KC.
Oh my god.
Vorkath, 10,200 KC.
Jesus.
For a Vorkath pet, which that boss is like, there's not really any way around doing it faster either.
Yeah,
like
it just takes forever.
Cerberus, which is obviously locked behind a task, 5,000 KC. That's another one I went pretty dry for. Of course, the fucking Cave Kraken, almost 12,000 KC there.
Bro, what the hell?
Well. Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of like it's a meme, you know.
Yep.
Duke 3,200, like that's unlucky. It's a 2,500, like that's well over the rate. Vardorvis is 1 in 3,000. I did 4,000, almost 300 of that. That's well over the rate. I believe there might be a couple more on here, but I would have to scroll. But like that's just like those are probably the worst ones.
Yeah.
But I have that's some bad luck. That's like, oh yeah, the Corrupted Gauntlet. I'm currently at 1,300 KC there, no pet.
Bro,
I still don't even have that one. That one's not that grind's not even over.
I have literally always had great luck on pets. The only I'm like literally I have 3 dark core pets in under rate. I have 2 bloodhounds under.
Main accounts are punching the air on that. That's
4 little nightmares, 2 Vorkies already, and I'm only 3,000 KC. 3 pet snakelings, 6,000. Like I just disgusting luck. The only ones I know I'm going dry on right now is like giant squirrel. I don't have, and I'm 38 mil agility. Tangle, like some of the skilling pets I don't have, but who knows? I mean, going for all pets anyway is just ridiculous. Oh, by the way, do you have any DK's pets?
I have none. No, I only have like 1,000, maybe like a few hundred to 1,000 each of those. I'm not like dry or anything, but yeah, I'm just not. I mean, just if you calculate in all the hours of just like with the things I've named, like I've been pretty unlucky. I've had multiple 3 times, 4 times the rate.
You just don't want to go dry. Like if your plan is all pets, don't go dry on Dark Core, the fucking Penance Queen, or Bloodhound. Just don't have that happen to you. And
well, Bloodhound's nice because like it's a passive thing. I've recently started kind of I've been doing like master clues, and like I actually enjoy clue scrolls. I enjoy the clue scroll Even though I'm not like big on the collection log, I do see it. Like I get the like when you get the collection log and you get the little pop up, it's a
Yep.
nice little hit. So I get it.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, Ian has a few. Wide Juicy has a few questions,
Shout
but
out.
we've already kind of covered them. So if you have anything else to add, but his third one is relevant, I guess. But first, he says, from last cast you had to now, what has changed in life and content creation, which we've already definitely covered.
Oh yeah.
What comes after Road to Blood Torva? And you said most likely Zuck Helmet and Pets. And then favorite streamer right now, and why is it Brett Dog?
Dude, shout out to the Bread Dog live stream. Bread Dog is one of the most sincere, kind humans I've ever met. I had the pleasure of meeting him at TwitchCon. He's a great guy. He's a great streamer, and I would say he is probably like of like the up and coming streamers I've seen in the Twitch section. Like he's one of the first names that's going to come to mind. I know he just recently applied for partner. Great streamer, entertainer. He uses like essentially he's a VTuber or a PNG tuber, whatever you want to call him, but he's a dog. Family friendly live stream, but like he also has kind of like a degen side, which is funny. Like and he plays into it really well. Like he's the best. Have you watched Red Dog stream?
Yeah, yeah. And he comes in my stream, and he has the purest soul. He is so kind.
Yes. He is very kind, and it's all genuine.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
Fully genuine. I love Bread Dog, and if you're listening to this, if you hate me, that's fine. Go watch Bread Dog, please. Go watch him. Give him your money. Give him your view. He's on the road, but like yeah. And I talked about earlier, Schmacko. He deserves more recognition. Streamer, her name's Jamie. She's killing it as well. Shout out to her. I think you should go watch her live stream. And as of that's I'd have to like take a look, but there's some upcoming streamers out there that are great. Individual named Steam. If you have not seen the Steam live stream, also the Wide Juicy live stream, who's posing the question, go check him out as well. They're all good streams, all good people. Go check them out.
Okay. Y Ace asks, if you had to eat a fast food chain / restaurant for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
Fast food?
Yep. Do you have a Dave's Hot Chicken there?
We do not. And
yeah,
like it would just be
that
like
is like the
like,
Tennessee, like that's kind
yeah,
of the
with
Nashville
what I
hot
like
we
have
here.
yeah, like with what I have access to, if I like I don't think Dave's is terrible. Like people will like speak decently of it, but I would be like it would be like a bastard behavior to go there when I have access to like local places that have been there for like 100 years that have like the special recipe like that costs like close to the same price.
Yeah.
It would be like they would like fucking they take me out back and kill me here probably if they call me a Dave's Hot Chicken. I would say though, I'm probably gonna have to stick with a lot of like that's tough. I'm gonna probably just go with Whataburger. I'm gonna hit the Whataburger. I think that's I love Whataburger.
Whataburger's fucking goated, and
I stand on it.
So when I lived in Houston, they had a Monterey Melt. I don't think you have them up there, right, at Whataburger?
I don't. Here's the thing: is they just literally in the last 2 years built a Whataburger there's one outside of Nashville and one in Nashville, and I think there's one near me now too, where I'm at on the other side of Nashville. So I need to go by sometime.
Because they had a Monterey Melt, and that was always my go-to. And then we would go to other Whataburgers outside of Texas, and they just never had the Monterey Melts. It's like it just wasn't part of the menu. So it was always a disappointment going to a Whataburger that wasn't in Texas. And so, like, I don't know. It's like, so I'm kind of like torn because I loved Whataburger. Like, whenever I went there, just like you get filled the fuck up. I mean, they're just the biggest burgers, just piping hot the whole way through. I mean, the spicy ketchup and the fries, like, oh my God, like, it's just great.
The spicy ketchup goes crazy. It's such a simple like thing, like idea, but the fact that they have it in the little containers is just monumental. I don't know what it is about it, but it's good. It's whatever machine is cranking that out in mass. I don't care. Like it's good. I
know. Fuck. It is good. Okay.
But yeah.
Lukey asks, Sae Bae on ToB Tuesday win. I get so like, come on, like you're really gonna type that without having just like she's just outing himself as like he doesn't watch ToB Tuesdays. Like, come on. Come on, what is
I was
that?
gonna say shout out if you guys if you're interested in ToB Tuesday, Sae Bae does have an episode. It's definitely one of the better ones. I love the thumbnail for the episode too. Go check it out.
That was amazing. Yeah, amazing thumbnail. I'll actually have that specific episode linked as well down in the description for my own sake, so you guys can go check it out. Unfortunately, that was probably when I was the most burnt from RuneScape, so the episode's definitely not as relevant, but it definitely is still a wonderful episode. It was fun. Okay, let's see. All right, Swift Little Eagle asks, "What's your favorite blue cheese?" Also, are you a ranch or a blue cheese kind of wing dipper?
Okay, so there's a lot of contention on the topic of blue cheese and ranch. I know people get kind of passionate about it. Here's the thing: I like ranch. I don't hate it. I don't think it's terrible. I will if it's if say I have some wings, right? Say they don't have blue cheese, ranch is available. I'll probably use it, you know. But I'm a blue cheese guy through and through. I'm just a cheese guy in general. There's a lot of things in my diet I would give up, but I probably would eat cheese if I lose a couple of years from eating cheese, I probably still eat it. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. Best blue cheese is the Roquefort blue cheese. Shout out, buy it, eat it. You know, but when it comes to cheese, I like the sharp, I like the pungent, I like the stinky in your face. Like that's my favorite. I don't know what it is about it. If the cheese has me sweating, that's when you know it's hitting. And that's the thing is like at some of those Michelin places, I have tasted some cheeses that made me just like immediately start sweating, and I'm like, this is an insane experience.
Shit.
So like, I fucking love cheese, and there's a whole game, bro, all the way down to the craft single, to the fucking top of the heap. You know, it's a big game, and But
I'm with you there. I'm blue cheese over ranch all day. In fact, I'm
really surprised.
Even if I see ranch, I'll probably not use it.
That's fair. You know, it's preference. Also, I feel like on both sides of that spectrum, there's good ranch and there's good blue cheese, and there's bad ranch and there's bad blue cheese as
Definitely, but there's much worse. Actually, no. Okay, I say in the bad department,
so
both of them get horrible. Both of them can be horrible. Like if I get like wings and I get blue cheese and it's like this packaged shit, I'm probably not using it either. It needs to be.
Where it's just like a paste and there's no chunks of actual blue
like,
cheese.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Like I know this isn't probably the most like authentic, but Wingstop's blue cheese goes. I love that shit.
No, I'm pretty sure they make theirs there.
That shit is chunky as fuck. Like it's so good.
I love it. Like you get the big chunk at the bottom.
Oh yeah, scoop it up at the end. Yeah, hell yeah, all about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Wingstop, for what it is really good. It's overpriced for sure, but like, I mean, if you gotta choose between Buffalo Wild Wings or Wingstop, it's a no-brainer.
Dude,
like,
Wingstop sucks.
It sucks so bad.
It's so bad. I literally went there with my friend. Okay, so I had a friend. So we just got a Wingstop here in Eugene, and I had a friend drive down from Salem, and we hung out. And I was like, "Bro, we're gonna go to this Wingstop. Like, they just opened like last week." And he's like, "Yeah, like I don't know, man." Like I really love B-dubs. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, okay, this place is gonna be way better. And he's like, well, you know, like I kind of want to sit down as well. So we ended up going to B-dubs because he wanted to like sit down, and like you don't want to eat at a Wingstop. Those places, that's not optimal. But
yeah, no,
dude, it just totally reminded me how shit that place is. Like we went there, the wings, like we were getting them hot, like right there, and they're cold. Like they're just sitting there. And the sauces suck. The meat it's just the worst experience, and it's so overpriced.
There's nothing worse than a dry chicken wing that's like lukewarm from Buffalo Wild Wings with their shitty ranch and blue cheese that they offer there. If I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, it's purely to watch whatever sporting event and drink alcohol, because the bar is great there. The bar is outstanding. The food, not so much.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably tastes a lot better when you're just plastered. So
yeah, dude, if I go there, like I get the vodka Red Bull, watch the sporting event with whatever friend, and order some fried pickles. Like that's the move. You can't ruin fried pickles and stuff.
Okay, this is an odd one. Tozambique asks, what's the first task you remember doing when you first got members on your account back in the day? Dude, I didn't even know what fucking Slayer was. I'll be honest.
I think the first thing I did is I went to get the team capes because I thought they were so cool. I thought the team capes were like super sick. So like I was like going out deep in the wilderness, like looking for the cape guy, and I thought it was like so cool. I had like money on me, and I was like scared.
Oh, he means task, as in just like what did you first do? I thought he meant Slayer task. I was like, what kind of?
Oh yeah.
No, I don't think he meant. I don't think he meant Slayer task. I'm like, who the hell is gonna remember that? Like what? Okay.
Yeah, I remember that, and yeah. Speaking of Slayer, like I remember doing my first Slayer task, and I was like, oh, I thought it was so cool that you like get assigned to go kill like monsters. Like I thought it was so like I felt like instead of like murdering like barbarians at the barbarian village and not knowing what I was doing, like I was like it would tell me what to kill, and then I like pull up the browser that takes like 5 minutes to load to like figure out where they're at and like what to do on some weird like forum website post.
The best.
Yeah.
I just always like whenever I got members, it was always walking through to Taverley Gate, walking through there and walking over White Wolf Mountain over to Sears Bank, and I would just chill there and admire the Giga Chads there with whips.
Yes. So that was another thing. Like speaking of first task, I remember like I get members. I knew about the team capes. I wanted the team capes. I wanted to look like I wanted people to know I'm a member. Like I wanted to wear because there's a members object only. I wanted to wear the team cape. I wanted to get I forgot what. There's a few other items too that were just members specific. But like I remember what I would do is, which leads into my lobster thing. If you don't know, I collect lobsters. I have the largest. Maybe somebody else has more than me, but I have the largest collection of cooked lobsters in RuneScape. I think I do.
How many?
I believe. I have 12.6 million cooked lobsters
Jesus,
on my account. I think that is the biggest collection. There might be some out there that has a bigger collection. There might be multiple big collections, but I've never had anybody to come in and be like, "Oh, I know a guy that has more." And then there's been people who I know are in the collection, like the collectors Discord, who've said they don't think anybody has one. They haven't seen one. Like I know who Matthias is.
Yep.
He frequents there, and he said he's not seen a lobster collection.
Wow.
So I was like, okay. I was like, maybe I do have the biggest one in the game. It is currently valued at 2.1 bill.
So max cash of lobsters.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes, I have collected since I started streaming. I've just collected lobsters as a collection item. Like when it's whenever I'm like doing an event or like whatever, I'm like don't give me your money. Like on Twitch, just pull up and give me some lobsters. Like give me a max stack of lobsters because you can only buy 6,000 at a time. So if somebody does have a bigger collection than me, they've been collecting them actively for a very long time. So yeah, but I have 12.6 million, and part of that is just because like I love lobster, like the food. It's one of my favorite. Like as far as like seafood goes, that's the peak for me. Lobster, love lobster, done in many different ways too, not just by itself. Like you go on the East Coast, like and get a real like authentic lobster roll that was caught the day before or the day of. Incredible, dude. I love lobster. I'm a big fan. But but what I would do is I would do what you did. You go through the Taverley Gate, you walk over, you go into Camelot Catherby, and like I had the lobster pot, and I would just fish lobsters and I would sell them to the shop. I didn't know you could just sell them to people, but I would sell them to the shop until the price would get low. I remember like I made a few hundred like 1,000 GP doing that. I was just obsessed with like catching lobsters, and I could like fish for swordfish too, and even though it was at one point sharks, I still just kept fishing fucking lobsters.
Yeah,
so I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Hell yeah, dude.
But yeah.
See, I was a woodcutter though. I used to chop yews. That was my thing. I remember getting like 75 woodcutting as a child, and I mean, that was just my proudest achievement ever, like IRL or in game. I mean, it's just like 75 fucking woodcutting. I could chop magic with the legends. Like that was amazing. So
I was gonna ask you, do you have any collections on your account? I mean, your account is so old. You've had it for so long. Is there anything you collect?
I mean,
give us the collection you like.
Yeah, I mean, there's just you can't really collect when you're an Iron Man. Like you can't get like massive stacks of things. I mean, you can, I guess, if you chose to, but
I was wondering if you had something.
It's all about Gilded and Third Age for me. I mean, you saw the Third Age plate legs, right?
Dude, yeah, you're like you can pull up and just flex on,
bro.
You can just flex so hard.
It's just unbelievable to have, like literally. I mean, Dragon full helm and the rest third age kite, third age plate body, third age plate legs. Like you just. It's so busted. It's like the craziest shit you could see on an Iron Man. And
are there any other Iron Man you know of playing that have that set?
no. I'm well. First of all, I'm the only Iron Man with a classic full gilded set in the first place. So there was one other person that got it first, but he de-ironed. That was Phrygian. And then the Third Age, I am the only Iron Man with 5 pieces or more. And everybody, there's probably like a couple handfuls of people with 4 pieces of Third Age as on an iron. And the only person that has like a top and a bottom, well, there's several people with like a top and a bottoms of a set. Like, for example, there's this guy named Faye Sten, and he has the Mage Robe top and the Mage Robe bottom with 2 other Third Age pieces that aren't the same set. Mm-hmm. But, like, just having a top and a bottom is crazy. So I now have a top and a bottom, which is already crazy. But then I also have the Kite Shield. And I don't think there's any Iron Man with 3 pieces of one particular set. I think I'm the only one.
That is insane. And that's really cool, though.
And it is the melee set, which is probably the most iconic. Like, which is just fucking so cool. Like, I swear to God, it took me like 3 full days to finally accept that like it happened. Because you got to also keep in mind, I'm a Giga nerd, you know, and I've been hunting Third Age for years and years. And so, you know, Third Age plate legs were like, it's like on that list of like, this would be a dream item that I'm not going to get. Like, let's be honest. You're not going to get a piece of Third Age you actually want. But and then I pulled it and it's fucking stupid.
No, for sure. Stupid. Like I respect it. Like I'm a lot more of a nerd than people may believe I am. Like I think all that stuff is really cool. And like just the completionist aspect of this game, especially now that it's become like something that's like sought after.
Yeah.
It's definitely excited me and made the game more fun for me. And like gives me that hit of dopamine that I was missing for a while, I think.
Yeah.
Like even just collecting lobsters, because my whole goal with collecting, I wanted to have a green stack. I thought that'd be like so cool to have a green stack collection of fucking lobsters. And now I have fucking 12. And the funniest thing is my community, we bought so many lobsters. We raised the price of lobsters over swordfish for 2 weeks, or almost 2 weeks. A lot of people are like, why? There's a Reddit post I saw. They're like, why are lobsters costing more than swordfish? Because we bought so many fucking lobsters that it raised the price. I had a screenshot. I posted a screenshot on Twitter and got like a few hundred likes. It was fucking hilarious. Like,
if you were to really dedicate, if you and your community were to dedicate yourselves to buying lobsters, do you think, like, how long do you think it would take to get 100 million?
I think it would take a while. You need a lot of people. Like you can only buy 6,000 at a time, so it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough. Like it's not that many.
You would have to like collaborate with other collectors and pay like top dollar for their collections.
Yeah, I would have to really make it like a heavy shtick. Because right now it's just like hey, like pull up. Like if I'm doing a giveaway or something, like hey, pull up, drop some lobsters. Like don't tip me IRL money, tip me some lobsters. Like come throw me some lobsters, and people would just kind of like, and you're like, hey, my birthday next Friday. You know, I feel like we're gonna have a lot of. That's all I've been saying. I'm like, hey, it's my birthday next Friday. Don't give me your money, just give me some lobsters. So I feel like there's a lot of lobsters probably in bulk. Maybe now, I don't know. Because like some people surprise me. Like sometimes like there'll be people in my community who've like came up to me and they've just give me 500,000 lobsters. And they're like, I've been buying these for months, and I'm like, holy fuck.
That's crazy.
There's been a couple people who've like dropped me like, I think I was talking about Matthias. I remember he dropped me like 200,000 or 300,000. You probably know who Monty Dew is.
Yep.
He had just like he's like an in-game Iron Man, and like he just obviously trades over dupes and stuff to his main and sells them. And like he had just been like buying lobsters for me passively for like I don't know like fucking like half a year, and one day just pulled up at the G and gave me like 300,000 or 400,000 lobsters. So,
bro, if you can somehow get to 100 million, like that, you don't see that. Now, I've seen definitely like 10 mil stacks of things. I don't think I've ever seen anybody have 100 mil stack of something.
I think that's the goal. I think that's like I feel like 20 mil is my next goal, but after that, I feel like but like let's go for the hundo. Like even 50 would be fucking sick.
Oh yeah, anything. Like, I mean anything now, but like 100, it's like that's like the triple digit also mil. Like that would be nuts.
That'd be crazy to have in the bank. That'd be a flex for sure to have 100 million lobster.
Dude, that's like the close to 20 bill.
Yeah, well, I feel like one day when I do max out my cat, like because like the Blood Torva series I've been doing, like, dude, like let me just take a look at like the collection log here. Like for example, Vardorvis, I got 4 Ultors.
Damn.
So far I've gotten 3 Virtus tops, 3 Virtus bottoms. Like that's a lot of money. Whisper, I've already gotten 2 Bellators. The Duke, I got like 4 Vestiges also. So like, I've like made a lot of money doing this series. Like I can buy every piece of. When I finish this, I should have every piece of gear in the game. Like I should have a set of everything. Like I have the official like even all the unnecessary stuff like Ellie, all that stuff. Like I'll have like the official.
Are you gonna start
main account bank?
Are you gonna start going for that third age collection though?
That's the thing is like, do I do that or do I just buy lobsters? That's why I guess I got to make that decision of what I want to do. So,
good point.
I guess we'll see. But that's the thing. It's fun to me though. I feel like it's fun that there's like stuff I can still like money is like useful for even as a main account, like just like collections or whatever, you know. Because like even if you're a main account, if you have the full third age and you have a third age pickaxe, that's still flex. Like that's that's pretty sick, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, this is a spicy one. Dr. Elo asks, hypothetically, if there was a bar fight during RuneFest, who would be involved and would you break it up?
I would not break it up. I do not involve myself in fights. Trying to break a fight up is the easiest way to get punched and then be involved in the fight.
And then get arrested. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I'm not going to involve myself in a fight unless I'm defending in a foreign country, unless I'm defending my friend or somebody who I care about. If the people who are fighting are people who have no like, if they're like a friendly acquaintance or like they're like I'm not going to get involved. Like that is they've made their decision to participate in said fight, and you know, like I might save them from killing somebody. Like if they're like on top of somebody, beat them to death. I'm like, hey man, I might grab them and be like, yo. You won. Stop. Yeah. You're gonna get a murder charge or whatever, you know. Like maybe then, but like I would only jump in like, you know, for example, say Tasty's at the bar and he's like showing off his new watch and you know, Skittler doesn't like that. So he fucking attacks him, you know. Like I would like I'm not gonna step in to fight for Tasty, but I would step in to like break it up, you know, after XYZ has lost the fight, maybe.
Yeah.
You know? But like, I mean, yeah, even especially like if a woman, like if it's a woman who I know I'm friends with who's obviously getting attacked, I got it. Like then I got to step in, you know, like I got to do. Like I'm not gonna let that happen. But
we are definitely gonna see some juicy drama at RuneFest.
Like, do you think there's gonna be some dude? So do you want to talk about the drama that happened recently?
I mean, you know what's crazy? I'm getting King Condor back on the cast, so that will probably going to be some.
Spicy. You'll get all the drama you need with that
spicy topics. But no. I mean, well, first of all, I don't know the full situation. All I have seen is just I always take a back seat on these things. Like whenever the Twitter drama pulls up, I'm like,
popcorn time.
Yeah, popcorn time. But I'm not liking anything. I'm not retweeting anything. I'm not commenting on it. I'm just gonna. Observe because one, I have been on very lightly and nothing that crazy. It's usually RS related or some sort of other stupid drama that just gets overly like I don't know, just like over exaggerated, I should say. So I've been a part of that receiving end, and I hate it when people just pile on when they don't know what the fuck's going on.
I was gonna ask you, so you've came out and had like, but none of your like drama, I guess you could say, has anything to do with other people. It's just RuneScape related drama. So you've came out and had some takes about certain stuff that obviously people did not agree with that you were pushing and peddling. And I've always wondered, like, did you do that for engagement, or like did you know what you were doing? Like, did you know it was gonna like get a good like engagement? You're just kind of testing the waters to see what would happen, or if you were just generally just talking like what you wanted to talk?
I just say what's on my mind generally, and because I know it's not affecting anyone else, it's literally just a take on the fucking game.
Take on a RuneScape.
So I'm totally cool, and it's never for engagement. It ends up being engagement because people just pile on and start having weird takes and shit. And then, you know, I'll have people ask me, like Secon is like one of my good friends, and he'll badger me about it, and he'll be like, you know, you just did this for views, right? And I'll just joke around and say, yeah, I did. But like ultimately that was not the reason. I'm just fucking playing around. But like
he's one of the I know Secon pretty well, so he's one of the people who says that you're just baiting, you know?
And I will just agree with it because it's just fun to just be like, yeah, it's all for the bait, it's all for the fucking engagement, bro. Like hell yeah.
The mastermind.
Yeah, no, it's not about that. And it could. I mean, because it would be easy for me as a host of a podcast to just get dramatic individuals and talk about their side of the story with the drama that's going. Like, I just don't give a fuck for the most part.
Yeah, I didn't like, like the drama referred to is obviously the Scatizzo West Ham drama that recently happened. And like, yeah, I didn't really like, I liked what West Ham posted just because like I know him. Pretty, like I know he's a genuine guy.
West Ham is the most wholesome, genuine, like,
yeah.
He's just a nice, kind guy, and he's down to earth as fuck.
Yeah, and I know that he definitely, obviously, was like with what happened, was definitely affected and hurt. So like, I felt for him, and I felt the need to like support him. Like, even though I'm not like good friends with him or anything, but like just from man to man, like support him, like what he's going through. It's like obviously he's going through some hurt, and but even on the flip side of that. Dude, we've been in this community a long time. I have not seen people come for somebody like that. I was like, holy fuck. They are fucking, like, they came for her. And I mean, they came. I mean, that was fucking, like, it was brutal. It was vicious, dude. It was vicious.
Yeah, no. I mean,
it was just like, I was just scrolling, just tweet after tweet after tweet. I was just like, holy fuck, man. And, like, part of that is, like, is that piling on? Or is that just, like, the predisposition of how people actually feel about you? And like, I don't really know what that is, but I don't think I've ever seen someone get piled like that. Like, I was just like cleared, wiped from the fact, like just some of the, like, if that was me and I clicked the more replies button, I ain't coming on Twitter for a while either, man. Dude, it was fucking brutal. I mean, I was like, damn.
I just like, so what I wonder, and again, I do not know any part of this story really, other than just the basic. It's because like I just don't explore these kind of things.
Yeah.
But if what happened and like Scatizzo just straight up cheated on West Ham and they had a thing going, and I don't know how together they really were. I have no idea about any of this. I don't know what the relationship status was, if it was more open or anything.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, if what I have seen is true, then it's deserved. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, why would you do that to the literally the legend West Ham? Like that dude is the most wholesome. Never.
No, that's that's kind of how I've said. It's like, I don't know the inner workings of it, but like, you reap what you sow, and like, your whatever your withstanding reputation is before that happens is also like, I think that's always important. Like, if you are like, because you're gonna find out, like, if you make a mistake in content creation or say something stupid or do something stupid and it becomes public in nature, you're really gonna find out who rides with you and who doesn't real fast. Like, you're gonna find out who's been waiting for your downfall and who hasn't been waiting for your downfall, and like, seeing that was like very like, if I'm taking anything personally from witnessing that situation, is like, damn, like, you better know who rides with you and who doesn't, because that was brutal. Like, whether I do, like you said, if that baseline is true, like, yeah, sure, deserved. But even past being deserved, like, dude, some of the things that I saw were pretty bad. So
yeah, I'm certain I didn't see even half of what it was actually posted, just based on.
Dude, I was in the bed. Dude, that shit stun locked me for the day. I was stun locked in the fucking bed for like 2 hours, just scrolling, bro. Like, I felt like I was like, this is insane. Like, it's just like one thing after the next. It just kept like. It was like a snowball just rolling, and I just would not stop. Like, the memes, mean comments, like, just one thing after the next. It was just crazy to like witness.
It's just, it's interesting. And I actually, so I have asked King Condor, not specifically about all that drama. Ultimately, I really enjoyed having King Condor on the cast back last year. Because he's just fucking fun to talk to. He's just
people. There's a lot of people that dislike him. I'm aware of that.
And he has horrible takes sometimes.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is like, just because and like, I've had him on a couple of my videos, and like, like, people might not like that, but like, just because you have someone on your video doesn't mean you agree with. It doesn't mean you agree with everything they say, or agree with every philosophy they have, etc., etc., etc. It's for the content value if you want to see it. Like, there's a reason why my ToB Tuesday with him, like, and this is earlier on too, has like 17,000 views. I'm not a big YouTube channel either. It's because people want to see it. People want to see it. Like, it's the content aspect of it. And I think that's where people kind of get lost with him, is like taking, like, it's clear what he's doing. Like, he's trying to farm engagement. He's trying to cover drama. That's what he wants to do.
Yeah, he is the creator that literally tries to farm engagement. And so, but you just have to
Yeah, that's what he's doing. And he's open about it too. He's not like hiding it from you. Like, he's telling you, like, this is what I want. And it's just like, as other content creator, like, because I know there's been content creators that have gotten into it with him before. You're giving him what he wants. Yeah, it's like you're giving him exactly what he wants. Like, he wants to smoke. Like, that is the guy who wants to smoke. That's the guy who wants to cover the drama. He enjoys doing it. He covers it, and that's just what he does. And like, it just is what it is. You don't have to, you know, I don't hate him, but I'm also not like in love with him. He's just, you know, he is what he is. And like, you know, like some of the content he makes is good, and sometimes he makes takes that are not good. Sometimes he makes takes that are good. I mean, he's different in the fact that he will just speak his mind regardless of what it is. He's not scared to say what he thinks at all. Clearly he does not care to put out what he thinks, you know. And you know, that's the part of, I guess, our community that he wants to fill, and that's his prerogative.
Yep. And I'm excited to talk because, I mean, our last conversation, very little of it had anything to do with any sort of drama, and it was just ultimately just a fucking hoot just talking to him. So
yeah, well, hey, if they can be that, or if you want to get into it, I'm sure you can get deep down the hole.
I mean, it really depends on what the Twitter topics are, because that's the other thing. When the Sae Bae casts are just like, here, drop a fucking list of topics. We'll see what sticks. But yeah, that'll probably be brought up, because I know for a while he's not liked Scatizo at all. And
yeah, well, I'm sure. You know, I know they had their whole thing, and that was just another thing that I just went hands off. Like, I just was like, I'm not getting involved in this. It doesn't involve me. I don't like, you know, these are two people who I'm like, you know, friendly with, but like, I'm not, like, it's not my place to pick a side or get involved.
Exactly.
Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, it is interesting. So, you know, just taking it all the way back to what I was saying, like, there's going to be some drama at RuneFest. It's the first time in 5 years where there will be a convention for RuneScape. And you know, something, like, multiple spicy things are going to happen there. And it's going to be all over Twitter. There's going to be some crazy, there's going to be the funny drama. There's going to be like the memes, like the fucking Peace Hacks meme, you know, like that went around.
Yeah.
Like that. There's going to be a lot of that. And there's going to be actually spicy stuff that's like, oh shit. Like, I'm
if you think, like, you know, like, there's literally people who are playing, like, you know, I know there's players and content creators alike who are planning RuneFest as their time of year where, like, I'm gonna fuck somebody. Like, that's their Super Bowl, baby. They're ready to get down and dirty at RuneFest. Like, I already know. Like, you got, like, all you guys, I know you're just fucking freaks out there. I know what you're thinking. I know you're ready. You're ready to fly across the country and meet that girl. Hey, man, good luck. Good luck. That's all I want to say. Good luck.
Oh my God.
So
I'm excited.
Okay. I'm excited too. But as far as, like, he asked who would get into a fight, like, who's gonna start the bar fight. I like that question. That's like, I wanted to get back to that. Just move on real quick.
Yeah, totally.
I'm thinking about it. I think who gives me the most bar fight vibes in this section is definitely Ginger Beardy.
And that is exactly what I was thinking. Literally, I was just thinking, like, if you don't say Ginger Beardy, I'm gonna bring him up. Like,
and the thing is, dude, I'm gonna jump in with him, dude. I love that fucking man. I love him to death, dude. I love Ginger Beardy. He's also a guy who speaks his mind. Does not fucking care. Like, he is, I have a lot of respect for him. And yeah, I probably would jump in with him, bro. Shout out to Ginger Beardy.
Dude is big too. I mean, he's
the kind of guy that, like, you're gonna have to fucking kill him, bro. You're not knocking him out. He's just gonna keep coming. There's not much brain in there. He's coming for you, dude. You're gonna have to fucking kill him. So I respect him thoroughly.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's gonna be wild. It's so crazy because thinking back, it literally will have been 5 years. And I've never been to a RuneFest, but it'll have been 5 years. Like, bro, everyone's old. Like, everyone that's pulling up is, like, genuinely just straight up, like,
yeah, bro.
Adult.
We're fucking, like, getting heartburn and shit at the fucking RuneFest.
Literally. It's gonna be.
Oh, well, maybe not. I don't know. They don't season their food over there, so who knows if we'll get fucking heartburn. We'll have to wait and see on that. But,
oh my God.
dude, I'm stoked. I'm excited. It's huge. Surely, listen, Jagex isn't gonna fly me or you out there, but surely they pay for a ticket, right?
Yeah, no. If you're in the content creator Discord, you're getting your ticket paid for.
You think they're gonna pay for a ticket? I just want the ticket paid for. You're gonna fly me out.
Yeah, your RuneFest tickets paid for.
Let me ask you this: if they paid, okay, so say, let me pose this to you. Say they paid for a ship for you to take you over there, like a cruise.
Oh,
a ship. You say you had to go by, boat, but it took like a 4-day journey, but it was free. Would you do that?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell
you
yeah.
Would?
A cruise?
You take the voyage? Okay,
yeah.
maybe it's not a cruise. It's like a boat with like a minimal amenity.
Oh god,
like
hell no. Hell no.
You wouldn't? Okay.
No, it'd have to be a pimped out like luxury okay,
it'd have to be nice. It'd have to be nice. Okay.
Bro, that would be that honestly would be terrifying though. Being on a boat across the Atlantic, like
I'd make it content. I'd film. I'd do the GoPro on the forehead, like the voyage. Like it could be something good, maybe.
That shit just like that's like low key kind of terrifying for some reason. Just being in the middle of the fucking sea on a boat.
I took a crabbing boat to RuneFest. It's just like a fucking 8-part series.
Yeah, no, but I still have like a little glimmer of like hope that somehow something of my trip or something is paid for, because I mean this shit's gonna be expensive as hell.
How much do you think a base RuneFest ticket would be? Because I thought it'd be like
150
USD, like 100 to 150 for a ticket. That's what I was figuring.
Maybe 200 for a 2-day pack because it's 2 days, right?
Whew. Yeah, man.
I have no idea what they're charging at, but I could imagine it being that. But yeah, if
maybe
you're
100 pounds.
If you're in the content creator Discord, you get a free ticket. I'm almost certain that everybody in there gets one.
Yeah, I was honored to be added to that. Not like it's been a while now, but it wasn't too long ago back that I was added. That felt validating, especially when the mod who asked me to join was like, he called me Mr. ToB Tuesday. I was like, okay,
wow,
all right, you fuckers are watching, huh? You're watching these videos.
Yeah, it's.
And then I found out that Mod Aiza, I know he listens to Base After Dark, which is hilarious.
Dude, when's the Mod Aiza ToB Tuesday?
I would love to have him on. I'd love to grill Jagex. See what's going on. Surely there's some things going on. He would play along good.
Yeah, no. Aiza and Sween. I mean, dude, you get him a little bit drunk. You get Sween a little bit tipsy, like, bro, he would fucking kill for ToB Tuesday.
The funny thing about him is I met him. There was a Crusader thing. It's like with Behemoth that like automatically affiliated me with Crusader because we are under contract with them with Behemoth.
Oh, really?
And I got to go to their like get together in Vegas, and that's where I first met Mod Sween, who like cornered me at the party, and I was like, I can't believe this guy is taking the initiative to talk to me. And we had a really good conversation about RuneScape. Like I feel like that's the only time I talked about RuneScape while I was in Vegas. But it was like a nice It was apparent to me that they really genuinely care about the game and the community and where it's going. And it made me feel really good about that this is the game I'm involved with. Yeah. And like it really just solidified that for me. He's a fucking really good guy.
Yeah. No, he's a legend. He's just real too. Like there's no like barrier.
Yeah, no bullshit.
Yeah, he's who he is.
Yeah.
Okay. B Gars asks, which RS boss would cook the best Southern barbecue?
Shit.
Bloat.
Bloat? I don't know though. It's gonna be stinking if you got bloat up there on the. And throw some New Balances on bloat, put them on the grill.
I'm just imagining, bloat like right on the grill. Just like that makes sense.
It looks nice. It's just that he's like a stinky guy. Like I don't know. There might be like a health hazard like having him around.
Oh, straight up. Yeah, straight up.
Yeah. Oh, I like, listen, Duke Succulus is eating good. That's all I'm saying. Like, he ain't missing no meals.
That's actually a good point.
He's missing no meals. So, like, if you can slug him over to the grill and get him some utensils that he can use, he might whip. Like, he might cook for you. It might be good.
You know who else? This is one that you probably wouldn't think of. General Grardor.
Oh yes, he's kind of like that built dad.
Yeah,
like, if you put some New Balances on General Grardor, threw him on the grill, I think he could cook as well. That's a good. I like that. I'm gonna go with that. We'll go with General Grardor. Duke is just like you got to get him to the grill, and he's thick.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be rough. Okay. Um, let's see. Dude, speaking of big dog, I didn't know what big dog was for a while. Like everyone started calling each other big dog, and now it was fine. It was finally added in my Twitch chat, so now I respect it.
You know, it's funny. I recently did ToB Tuesday with Hanner, and like that was the best improv bit of the entire ToB Tuesday. Was at Soda's Egg. I just said big dog, and she like she said nothing. She was like stunned, like just was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" And I just leaned into it and kept saying it over and over again.
See, that's the kind of shit where I would just be so uncomfortable with.
Yeah, and then eventually she just started saying it. Like she's like big dog. Like we both just started saying it, and it just ended up being one of like the best bits of the entire episode. Because like people now, like there's people, some people come in there just like type all caps big dog, just because of that episode, which is so funny.
So this is actually related to the previous question, but Frank asks, PJ, sorry in advance for making you talk about RuneScape. If you could implement one Southern dish into OSRS, what would it be and how much would it heal? Also, if Tennessee whiskey was in the game as a potion, how would it affect your stats?
Tennessee whiskey is going to take away 40 HP, but give you overload buff on the on your combat skills there. I think essentially, I actually think that would just be an overload. How much does overload take away from you? Like 50?
Yeah.
Or 40?
50.
Yeah, it would be like definitely like an overload, probably for sure. Like it's gonna hurt you real bad, but you're gonna feel really fucking strong.
Dude, if they bring brewing back, like if they revive brewing in this game, that would actually be pretty cool.
What do you mean, like to where you could like actually make like
beer? Yeah, like okay, so have you ever made like the master or like the fallow item, the whatever the hell drinks that thing's called?
I have not, because I buy it on the GE when I get that stuff.
Oh yeah, you didn't have to make it. I was thinking of Greenman's Ale. See, Greenman's Ale, you have to actually like brew. Like you have to like spend a couple days.
That's the one I dropped. I'm pretty sure that's the one I drop. I believe that's the one I drop.
Oh, okay. Because sure. I don't know if this is untradeable or not. Is this untradeable?
I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not.
Maybe.
I feel like everything.
No, it's tradable. Looks like.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, because everything he's ever told me to buy, with the beers, I've always bought it. So. I'm a noob at Clue Scrolls though. I'm new. I'm getting into my Clue Scroll arc slowly.
Well, okay. So what about the Southern dish though? What would it be? Nashville hot.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yeah, we go Nashville hot, and you know it's.
So because right now I believe doesn't just like cooked chicken in RuneScape just heal 3 or 4?
Yeah. So if you throw the Nashville hot on there, that's gonna bump you up to healing probably 20, but you're gonna lose 10 defense because like your ass later that might hurt. Like it's gonna lower your defenses for sure. You're gonna be susceptible. So you're gonna lose some defense, but gain a lot of health.
That's respectable. All right. Bankstander asks, "What's your favorite thing about living in Tennessee?"
Ooh, I would say privacy is my favorite thing about living in Tennessee. There's a lot of places. Tennessee is a great place to live, just because cost of living here is not terrible unless you get into like I mean, if you're living like in a nice area in Nashville, okay. I live outside Nashville. We're out here, kind of in the country. Got a little bit of land. You know, I enjoy the solitude, you know. What I mean, like I enjoy it. I enjoy going for walks. I'm actually right next to a state park, so like the border of the land here is a state. Like I can walk into the state park. There's also trails and stuff back there. So just like the solitude of like being alone, like easily having the access of being alone. Like living in the city, I've lived in the city before, is just a lot. Like it's a lot. You hear a lot of noises. Like you're constantly like you deal with a lot of people, and like it's just nice to have like the quiet, you know. And then like I'm not like so far away from the city to where I have to drive like an hour, because that's the issue is like it is nice living somewhere like that, but usually the drawback is like if you want to get to like civilization, you got to drive 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm like in an ideal spot to where it's like 15, 20 tops. So. I'm about 30. I'm about 30 from Nashville, so like I'm right out. If I want to go to Nashville, and like it's not like a fucking huge journey. It's gonna take a little time, but it's not terrible. But I love Tennessee, man. I think I'm gonna stay here for the duration. I've traveled around the country, been to other places. I love Tennessee. I love Nashville. It's my city. It's my place. Shout the fuck out to Tennessee. If you want to come visit, Nashville's a great place. or you can go to East Tennessee. Also, Gatlinburg, great place to visit if you want to go somewhere fun for the. You're going for like a weekend getaway. Nashville's awesome. So is Gatlinburg. Check it out.
Okay. Coconut bean dip. For Prison Joe, what do you want to see more in the community?
I saw the second part of that question too. Thank you, Bean Dip.
I'm preparing for it.
Whew. I want to see people collaborate more, I think, is what I would like to see. I know that RuneScape streamers by nature are very like to themselves, very kind of, I wouldn't say reclusive, but they're not too big on like reaching out to other people to collaborate or reaching out to like make content. We're not like, I don't think we're there like other communities are. So I think that's the main thing. But I think that's also just self-serving to me because I love to collaborate with other creators. So that's probably the primary thing I would have to say. Because even like I try like even with the base stream team like just because you're in base doesn't mean like I'm like it's just gonna guarantee you're gonna be collaborating with people. Like it just gives you like kind of a roster of people to work with basically. And I've made the most of it. Like I feel like as a content creator, like when it comes to collaborating, it is what you make it. Like everything's right there. You just have to reach out. Because like every streamer I've met has been so cool, so kind, generous. Like people who are, dwarf me in size as content creators. Like, I shot my shot at Soup to come on one of my videos and he did. So it's just like, you gotta reach out. You just gotta put aside your ego, your fear, etc. and just, reach out. Like work, I feel like that's why I said, like, when it comes to streaming, like, I don't really see it more as a competition thing. I see it more as, like, we can all work together to all grow. Like, we can all feed off each other. Because the ecosystem is, like, an active, pulsing thing. It's a little different than, like, YouTube, for example.
Yep. Now, and I actually don't have any disagreements, so sorry. Sorry to KemQ as a Fed. That's his name on Twitter.
I'll agree with that just because he owns Chronicles, the fake KemQ beef. That's an archive drop on my stream is that we have beef with KemQ. We hate him.
I just love that. I love that just Whale is his profile. Like, is Whale okay? Whale's got to be okay with that. He doesn't give a fuck, but like, Jesus
No,
Christ.
Bean Dip is a chatter in Whale's community, my community, a couple others. He's a bit out there, but he means well, I think.
Okay. PJ, leak the leg workout. This is coming from Seizures. I'm trying to get big I'm trying to get like you, big dog.
I go pretty hard on the legs still. I've just I just feel like if I like let my legs go, it would be embarrassing. Like I can let the I don't have the president I just feel like a lot of people are like obsessed with my legs or like maybe not obsessed with my legs, but they always people talking about my legs.
As soon as you start posting online, it's like now you are forced to upkeep this for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I've shown the hams. They're out there. That people know what they look like. So I gotta keep them. I gotta keep them at least at an acceptable level. And it's good too because it's good for my health. It's good for me. But I do a lot of different work. I have two different splits I use for legs. The one I did last night. I get to the gym, okay? You can go ahead, and if you want to write this down, go ahead. If anybody listening, if you want to write down the leg day, I'm just kidding. But it is a good leg day. If you want to, we want to push it, it's pretty solid. I go to the gym. I get on, this is like my free weight split day for legs. I get on the leg press. I will typically do lighter weight. I'll do just 6, kind of lower working weight sets of 15, pressing just kind of get my legs warmed up, get them ready for squats. Which, the squat is one of the most difficult, challenging exercises you can do with free weight. It is, it works tons of different muscles. It's amazing. It's an amazing lift. It's just one of the best. It destroys your legs too. It is just, there's so much going on with the movement of the squat that people don't really think about. But there's a lot of information out there. Go research squats. Squats are good. I was co-signing squats heavily. But then I move into the free weight squat, which typically I am, that's one of the few things I still will kind of go for weight on I do a little bit of heavier work with it. I'll do 6 sets of 6. And starting kind of low and working my way up to heavier weight, because lifting heavy weight's fun. I'm not going to act like it's not. I could probably have a better set to rep ratio there, but it gets fun, trying to push it a little bit and lift something heavy, feel that old kind of adrenaline come through. It's real nice. But after that, I usually get on the hip adductor machine. Shout out to the hip adductor. If you're trying to get that ass fat, it's where you need to be. Slow controlled movements, 5 sets of 15 on that. Decent working weight, weight to where you can control the weight and feel that burn in your hip abductors and like the upper booty cheek, building the ass, for the ladies, that's one of the best machines you can use. Moving on from that, I'm gonna go on to typically I will do RDLs, which is like a straight leg deadlift essentially, basically, which is gonna blast your hamstrings. Do 5 sets of 10 of those, get the hamstrings feeling it. And then you're gonna jump on, and the most dreaded workout. I have shitty calves. I have great thighs, but I'm tall, so my calves suck. I've been working out my calves for 5 years, and they've grown maybe an inch. But I'm gonna keep going. So I'm gonna jump on the.
You just gotta shrink the thighs. You just gotta stop with the thighs so the calves look bigger.
That is true. If I had smaller thighs, the calves would look more proportionate. But you gotta get on the because dude. I keep working on my calves. They maybe grow like half an inch, an inch. They just get more veiny, if anything. Like it's vascularity that shows. Like they don't really. It's such a resilient muscle group that's pounded like every day from you walking around. It's just tough to grow it.
Yeah.
Without the use of the special substances. But I'll hit like 4 sets of 25, nice, slow and controlled, burn the calves pretty good, and then I will usually finish out with just some standard leg extensions. Love the leg extension machine. Great to focus on the quads. And then I usually, on leg day, I don't run just because my legs are already just wrecked. I usually will get on the bike, ride the bike for like 10, 20 minutes, look at Twitch while I ride the bike. Typically. Bike's the easiest cardio you can do, but it still counts as cardio.
Yep. Even walking, dude.
Yeah. So that's pretty much, that's like the main split. That's like the split basically. And usually, if I don't do like free weight squats, I will do kettlebell work, like kettlebell squats, kettlebell, all the different types of squats you can do with kettlebells. I'll like substitute that if I'm not feeling the free weight, if my knees feel kind of shaky or I don't feel the best.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the leg day split, man. Get after it, send it. It's gonna, if you do that and you control the weight and you do decent weight, it will fuck your legs up. I can guarantee that.
Now, have you ever had any like leg injuries when working out?
No, the only leg injury I've had is when I played football, I tore my right ACL. That's about it. But with the surgery I did, this knee should hold up better in the long term than my other one.
Damn. Okay.
With the way they do, if you do the patella style ACL surgery, it in the long run is better for the knee, like strength wise. So, yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I will tell you though about the ACL surgery. You want to like something terrifying? Like
what?
It's a super serious surgery. So when they do that surgery, the muscle over your knee, like the quad, it atrophies after you have that surgery because there's just so much inflammation and so much going on, and like it is crazy because like you get it and like your whole leg is casted and you're literally bedridden for like I think it's probably 2 weeks before you start like hopping around.
Oh God.
And you take the fucking like cast off, and my quad was just gone. It's gone.
Just blubber.
Just blubber. Just fucking little like, just gone, dude.
It's got to be so depressing, but like it had only been 2 weeks. Like you're good to get it back. Like it just takes a little bit. But initially, that's got to be so depressing.
It was so depressing. It's like all these years of all this working out, it's just fucking gone.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
That's not fun. See, that's the problem with just any sort of like if you push yourself too hard and you get injured, like you've just lost so much progress. So you got to still be safe and do proper form.
Yeah, and that's the thing I say with the gym too, especially getting older that I realize is like the controlled movement of the weight is the hardest thing to learn when it comes to weightlifting because like as like especially men, it's just you want to get in there and you want to move heavy number. You want to move big item. Like you want to move that weight. But in reality, in the long term, it's probably not the best for your joints and other things. And it's probably better. Like it's more conducive for building muscle. A lot of times controlling the weight and doing more working sets instead of doing just the, I know it's good for the centric like strength training. I know it's more beneficial, but I feel like in the long run for your health, you're going to get more out of the slow controlled movements.
Yep. Okay. Shep Boy RD just has something to say. He says that Prison Joseph guy looks white as fuck.
Hey, we're all about width. You know, width is the game. That's the gimmick. This is the day one gimmick. Being wide. You know, I can't really put in the words what it means to be wide, but to me, you know, being present, being active, and being genuinely you it's how to be wide. Shout out.
Okay, so I probably have asked this before, but this is T's asking, can you ask Seth why he goes by the name Joe, and does he have any plans
Dude, why
to
are you
correct
doxing
this?
me?
Does he have any plans to correct this by changing his name to Mr. Prison Joe?
Okay, so my name is Seth. All right, I don't care if you know that. That's my name. I do go by Prison Joe, and like it's funny. There's people who I'm like, for example, Qneeks. I'm still friends with Nick. I still talk to him. We still like text and talk sometimes. He still calls me Joe. You know, he's like someone I've met multiple times in real life who I talk to. He still calls me Joe. There's a
Like
lot of people that still call me
unironically, or
Joe.
is it like?
No, he just
Wow.
calls me Joe. Like he's not doing it, but he's just used to calling me Joe, so he calls me Joe. And it's just like at this point, I just go by Joe or whatever you want to call me. PJ is that's a newer term. PJ. A lot of people call me PJ instead of Joe or Prison Joe or Seth. It's just PJ. That's cool too. But I mean, no, like yeah, but like imagine this though, Prison Seth. That sounds fucking terrible. Like that is awful. That's just the worst. Like.
Prison Seth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually sounds like you probably wouldn't have grown as a content creator with that kind of name.
No, I think Prison Joe's a good name. It's kind of abrasive, but like it's enough to get you maybe to like look into what's going on here.
For sure.
It is funny the people that come in, they're like, "Have you been to prison?" It's like, dude, do you know where we are? But I don't know.
All right. Palmy asks, how many people are going to therapy today because you bullied them in high school? Were you a bully, do you think?
I was not a bully. I was definitely not a bully. I'm more of a bully now to my friends more than I ever was in fucking, like, you know.
Yeah, most people that bully in adulthood were actually bullied in high school. Because
no, if anything, I was bullied. Like, the only times I was, like, I was definitely the guy, like, the funny thing is, I remember I was a junior in high school, and this, like, little, like, he's like a sophomore, is in Spanish class, and he was making fun of me and my friend. And he was like calling me a Neanderthal, calling me stupid, because I fucking failed the Spanish test. And he was bullying me, and I fucking picked him up and I threw him across the room.
Holy shit.
And I got fucking suspended for it. And then I remember like I tried to appeal the fucking suspension, and like the school, like the vice principal showed up and had like pictures of his torn hoodie, like it was like fucking court case or something.
Jesus
They're like,
Christ.
right here, as you can see, you tore his hoodie. I was like, suck my balls, dude. Like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, no, that's like yeah, I definitely got bullied. I never really bullied anybody, I don't think. I'm trying to think. Like, me and my friends would roast each other, but that's just like the friendly, like, you know.
Yeah.
I think the only person I bully nowadays is maybe Ignoble. Like, I definitely bully Ignoble for sure.
But that's deserved.
Like,
That's healthy.
Yeah, it's
for his own good.
Yeah, and like I know people say like bullying is a good thing. I don't think bullying is a good thing, but like friends like making fun of each other and roasting each other I don't think that's a bad thing. Like I think that is like
when you're actually friends. That's the key
that's
thing.
The thing.
When you know it's out of love and you're just
like
and the other thing you need to have a friend group that's honest with you, because if you're gonna just be deluded like your whole life of like the shit you're doing wrong, you got to have a core friends that you know you can trust that will call you out on your bullshit.
Yes. That's why I love Base After Dark, because when someone says something absolutely asinine and stupid, we immediately all just pile them. Just tell them how, myself included, like you just immediately get piled for like if you say something that's just completely ridiculous. That like the group of like everybody's just like, what are you saying, dude? Like that makes no sense. Like bully, if you want to call that bullying and that aspect is good. I mean, that's just it's
but that's not bullying, because you're a friend group and you know you have mutual respect for each other. The bullying is wrong because you're doing it out of hatred and like just actual like disdain.
You're just targeting a random person. Yeah. But I feel like that like aspect of it is good, just because like it kind of prepares you, and it kind of like, because like there's gonna be times in life where people say shit to you that you're not gonna like, and like having the experience of like having things said to you that could possibly be hurtful, even if it is your friend just being honest with you, is like, it's a good thing to have. It's like that way you're not deluded, like you said, and then someone says something to you that you don't like, and then you just freak out. Instead you can take it and like work through it in a mature way.
Totally. Okay, there are definitely some other topics that I'm just not even going to touch, so they can blame it on me for not touching them. But Seth, I want to kind of wrap things up today and ask you for a few shout outs from the community. So yeah, the
Dude, this has been a cat. How long have we been going?
Well, the recording's almost nearly 4 hours, but after edits and everything, it'd probably be like 3.5 hours.
Wow, outstanding. I appreciate you having me on. It felt good to like catch up with the content creation. I'm proud of you. You're doing big things. You're growing. You're making content. I think all of us are. We're all going in the right direction, and as long as the numbers are going up and staying steady, I'm gonna keep after it. So just want to say thanks for having me on.
My pleasure.
And what about in regard to shout outs? Who are we shouting out? Sorry.
Just any I will say just 3 shout outs, but if you have a few more, that's totally okay as well. I always yeah.
Shout out to the base team, Based After Dark, all my close content creator friends that have helped get me to where I'm at. I'm very grateful. That goes along too. Shout out to my community. I appreciate all you guys, everything that I've accomplished. Obviously, like in content creation, nothing's done alone. I realize that. I can work as hard as I want, but at the end of the day, if I want to be successful as a content creator, I need help and support from other people. So massive shout outs to both those groups of people. And I would say next, shout out to all the up and coming streamers I mentioned. Shout out to all of them. Go down the section, look for streamers, look for new people to watch. Don't just watch the same people. There's a lot of streamers who are super talented and have a lot to offer who are not probably getting what they deserve. And yeah, that's all. That's pretty much what I got. But I appreciate you having me on, man. Thank you. This was sick.
Yeah. No, I'm glad to. It's just I think it's nice because you are in a you do a weekly podcast, but you're always with a bunch of people, and I don't feel like you get your spotlight, And you host your own ToB Tuesday too.
This is an easy day of work for you. I gave you easy day today.
Yeah, you did. For you. You did. See, I will get some criticism for like, oh my God, you still haven't gotten this person on, and you're getting this guy on for the 3rd time. Like, what the fuck? I just want to chill. Like, so this was really nice for me too. It's always nice talking to a friend, and we've met up multiple times at this point. So yeah, I'm very proud of what you've been able to do. I'm really excited to see what you continue to do this year and just in future years. So thanks for your time tonight. And down in the description, everybody, we're gonna have a bunch of links down there. My ToB Tuesday episode, Based After Dark. All of Prison Joe's links is YouTube, Twitch, Twitter.
My kick.
Yeah. Oh,
Help me, please.
Yeah, we're gonna have your kick down there as well. God. and yeah, thank you guys for all listening. Also, later this week, we're gonna be having King Condor on the cast. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, the link down there as well to offer topics. And yeah, some other guests I won't announce yet, but we do have some scheduled for. I believe there's one more for the end of February and then a few in March that are planned. So look forward to those. And thank you guys for all listening. If you want to support the cast as well, there's a Patreon link and a YouTube membership link. You can help support there. But thanks again, Seth, for your time tonight. It was fun.
Yes, sir. Much love.
Peace.